you can be casual with a person, openly casual with a person, not hiding that, but because you're putting in what they see as supreme clientele effort, oh, this person must like me, and then they start to grow feelings. Right. And then they've got vexed at me because it's like, well, why did you do X, Y, and Z? Yeah, you said this, but then why did you take me there? Why did you have sex with me like that?
That's what I was about to say. Right, there's a common tweet going around.
That's how I have sex.
Yeah, there's a common tweet going around, yeah. There's a common tweet going around where a woman says something like, I don't know, I'm on my period, or I want you to come with me.
That's okay.
And the man,
that's okay.
Ain't no problem. Right? I need women in those situations. Obviously, these are things that the women are saying that the women are obviously in the beginning tweet are saying that these are things that I would expect somebody that's special towards me would do. You wouldn't mess with me on my period unless you was my partner or something like that. Or you wouldn't come inside me unless you wanted to get me pregnant. Like that type of stuff. I know the man saying, I ain't got no problem. That is most man them, you know. Yeah. And it doesn't mean anything. It don't mean that they like you more. It just means that they want to bang. That's all they want to do at that time. Ain't no problem.
Yes.
Ain't no problem. You know what I mean? It means nothing to them.
No, before we have sex, I just wanted to let you know that in my previous life, I was a serial killer and my cat is my mother. It's no problem. It's no problem.
Nah.
It's no problem. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents, other small insects and millennials. Welcome to another episode of the Eloquently Say Nothing podcast. This is episode 82.
Yeah.
I am Stavros Boss, and in the room with me tonight, I was going to write a little script actually, and I forgot to do it, but let me start off with, I got Mr. Wolf.
A deep well is seldomly noisy. A deep well is seldom noisy, and that means be secure in who you are. Empty vessels can needlessly be noisy.
But you didn't explain it. Be secure in who you are. Doesn't say that it's the more insecure people that make the loud noise and the people that are insecure in themselves silent. But bad boys move in silence, innit?
Well, there you go. That's why we have Mr. Stavros Boss in the building to help translate for those that have hollow brains.
Anyway, you good?
I'm good, bruv.
Wonderful. And we have Big Wahala.
Gloria, I am awfully sorry that this relationship has to end, but thankful to know the truth at last. I never knew you were a harlot. Don't try to look for me, because if you do, I will disgrace you. Bye, and keep being the bad girl you are.
You gotta love Nollywood, you
Bro, he said...
harlot.
He said, I never knew you was a harlot. Keep being the bad girl you are.
Shout out South London.
Goodbye. Anyway, Big Wahala's in the building. That has, I want you to understand that has finished me this whole week.
The hell is that? Where did you even get that from?
I saw it on Twitter.
It's Nollywood, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Nollywood film. I saw it on Twitter and somebody had cut. You know what? Nollywood actually has the best cutaways for all these types of things. But when he put it, so the woman's reading, all it is in the video is the woman's reading a letter from her boyfriend. And the man just called her a harlot. I don't know what she has done. I don't know what she did in the thing. I told her, keep being a bad girl that you are.
Are you good?
I'm always good, man.
The word harlot's deep, though.
Isn't it?
All right.
I gotta start calling people harlots now, you know.
Big Wahala is at Big Wahala. That's at BIGWAHALA. Nobody knows how to spell. Well, no, sorry, not everyone knows how to spell Wahala. And Mr. Wolf is at Mr. Wolf.
Oh, jeez.
What is it?
The first time you got it wrong, bruv.
What was it? I've forgotten, you know.
It's AKA
Mr. Wolf on Instagram and AKA _ Mr. Wolf on Twitter.
I'm the one that usually gets it wrong.
Yes.
Shout out the actor. He's not here today again.
All right. So we have that actor and Simple Simon who aren't here. Simple Simon may breeze through. We don't know yet. He's not picking up his phone. But you can catch Simple Simon at Simple Simon and that actor at that actor. Simple Simon is at... Wow, I'm off game, innit? It's Simple Simon FB on Twitter.
Yeah, man, you need to...
And that actor is on Instagram and Twitter at that actor, DAT actor.
What's up with your Weetabix this morning, bro?
I don't know. Maybe it's because I've got this gorgeous man beside me and he's put me off my game.
This gorgeous man.
No. Can
we
I
are
say
we
no
are
homo?
Didn't even.
I don't need to say no homo because I'm not a homo. I'm not a homo.
No,
so
but
I don't.
Is
I don't-
homo
I
even
don't-
allowed? Are
I
we
don't-
allowed to call people homos now?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm saying that rhetoric. Is it allowed now?
What to say no homo?
Yeah.
It's
I don't know,
pause,
but
innit?
can-
Pause.
Can I?
Pause.
Can I?
No
Let,
homo.
let me introduce the guest, and then you can join in the conversation. So the gorgeous giggling dude beside me is Travis J.
What's going on, guys, man? What's good? What's good?
Do you feel a way? You're sweating because I called you.
Nah,
gorgeous,
I was
innit?
about to ask.
It's an interesting way to introduce me, innit? Like, I heard that. I was like, right, he didn't even try to brief me beforehand. Like, that's how you coming at me. I was like, okay.
No, I didn't know what I was gonna say, man. Because I messed up. I just needed a reason someone to blame. I'm just blaming you.
Let me give him a different intro because what we need to acknowledge is that we don't just gonna call him Travis J. We're gonna call him Brother Travis, yeah. And the reason why we're gonna call him Brother Travis because
where's your collar, man?
Because he is the CEO, yeah. He is the CEO, and he's been doing a lot for the brothers of the community.
That's right.
Because he is the CEO of what, my brother?
Talk about it.
He is the CEO of Black Men Don't Cheat.
Global organization.
Yes, and he does do the statements for us.
Telling you.
Many statements has been made in behalf of all black men that are not cheating and have been wrongly accused of cheating in the world. So, Brother Travis, we would like to salute you for all the hard work you've been doing for the community of the Black Men Don't Cheat Society.
Insert canned applause here.
In fact, what was the last one you did? I can't remember the last guy that we had to call on your services for.
That was
it?
Tristan.
Yes, Brother Tristan of the Kardashian Society.
The alleged rumors.
Yeah, alleged rumors of him cheating. There's many alleged rumors that go unjustly, put into society and unjustly made, and that Brother Travis comes to deny and make sure that we can walk as black men, knowing, we do not cheat in the
That's what I'm
society.
saying, man. It's like when Kevin Hart said in his statement, it's like, I feel like I got a target on my back, and it's true. We all do. We all do. They're all waiting for us to just be in a compromising situation.
Yes, so we will salute you for the hard work and accomplishments you have done in the society.
It's duly noted.
How are you?
I'm well, man. I'm well.
Good to be on another podcast.
Yeah, man. I'm enjoying it.
You're not one of these podcasters, isn't it? You comedians like to be podcasters, don't you?
Yeah, because, it's attention, isn't it? Like, it's attention. Just come in, just be a guest. It's like, right, okay,
you know what? I want to say fuck you to Foles. And the reason why I say that, yeah.
Wow.
He ain't done nothing wrong. He doesn't even know he's done anything wrong. But I tried to get you before him. and he managed to get him on the show before we did. So now it looks like we're following on from them, man. Right? And you know when United wanted John Obi Mikel and they thought they had him.
And Chelsea
just came and snatched him away. That's how I felt. That's how I felt with Travis, I know Travis was off the cuff. I was like, what
I don't even know if I'm happy being John Obi Mikel, fam.
John Obi Mikel had a good long career with money, man.
And he won the league and the Champions League.
Yeah, man. He did a good job. He was just boring at Chelsea. That's all. We're not saying you're boring, but we're saying that you were snatched from us, from the gloves, of our hands. We had you in our hands, and then Foles took him.
Okay. So before we
Fair analogies.
too far on Travis J, tell us about yourself and where people can find you on your socials as well.
Yeah, comedian, actor, writer, radio presenter. Find me on all social media, Travis J ENT. That's Travis JAYENT. Facebook's just Travis J, but don't add me on Facebook because I'm not accepting that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're here for that.
Yeah.
So how's work going then? Give you a little quick,
Well,
quick thing.
life is good, man. Life is good. Definitely some amazing things in the pipeline to announce.
We got the exclusive there?
No, I can't give her any. Not yet, man. Until that contract is signed, we can't even discuss. I ain't trying to backtrack an announcement. That's just wild. But September 27th, I'm doing my new stand-up special in North London. That's going to be at the Bill Murray Comedy Theatre. It's a real cheap one, nice intimate setting, £5 tickets. So that's the next one.
That's good, man.
Blessings. Good luck with that.
So, what are you saying? Buy one, get one free discount.
For £5,
That's for £5.
You know what I mean? Boy, you got to hustle everything.
That's why he did it cheap, man, because he didn't want no noise. It's like,
exactly.
You can look at somebody, once somebody's like asking for discount for £5, you can just look at them in their face, innit?
That's what I'm
You
saying.
don't even have to say anything, you just look at them. Like, really?
Hustle.
Really? I don't even use the N-word, but and you're even black, but really? Really?
Telling you.
Hustle
Yeah,
hard.
we've had a couple comedians on there. So we've had Griff in it. I know you and Griff know each other quite well. Mm-hmm. It's good to see you black comedians doing your thing, man.
No, it's a good time, man.
Yeah, it's a very good time for you guys. And I'm hoping that
New generation.
Yeah,
comedians, isn't it?
You will blow and start, doing what you need to be doing for us, man.
Amen.
At the moment, I think the UK scene in general, comedians, podcasters, music, anything creative at the moment, I think we've got a little bit of a shine at the moment.
No, that's a real talk. That's real talk. And I think what led the start of this was grime.
Yeah, potentially.
Grime. And the thing is, even if you look at like America and how hip hop came forward, right, and then Def Comedy Jam, that came after hip hop's explosion. Like that's just, I don't know. It's like when the new music is introduced, you need the voice to explain the culture, and that's where comedy comes into it. So the timing is just
interesting. So like the music is the root of the tree, and all these other little branches sprout out from it.
That's right.
So we say that the amalgamation of this is Big Narstie and Mo the comedian.
Well,
that is the grime and comedian merge.
Essentially, yeah.
I heard you lot talk about that on the podcast. But I kind of agreed with Candice on that one, boy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, she definitely 2-foot tackled the conversation. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, just so you don't know, if you want to know, listen to episode, is it 18?
I think it's 17.
Put him on the spot, innit?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I'm thinking 17.
Either way, it's the last podcast.
The most recent episode, yeah.
Of
18.
A cool name for a podcast.
It's 18.
Not a cool name.
Sorry, cool name for a podcast.
Get it right.
So they were talking about the big. We actually spoke about it briefly last week as well. That it's a bit. For me, it's just I don't understand it.
Do you know what? Yeah, for me, like Mo's my boy. No more for years. I just feel like the show just needs more Mo.
Yeah,
the show just needs more Mo.
Let's get rid of the Big Narstie
doing his thing because he could carry that show by himself. You know what? He is carrying the show.
Album lacks. He's more Jay-Z.
He's carrying the show on his own.
I'm not saying that I don't want to see Big Narstie on the telly. I just don't think he needs his own show. I quite like him when he does like the segments on like the end of the year things and when they come on the thing. I quite like Big Narstie
when he's a panelist.
Yeah, I don't mind another panelist, but I don't want to see half an hour every week of Big Narstie. Just chatting.
You black people are haters, man. Crabs in the bucket. Crabs
got nothing in the bucket.
Do you know what though?
I'm ashamed to be in the same room as you people.
But people say, as much as you're bantering, yeah, people say that anytime you have any criticism of anything that's happened, it's just like, oh, you're a hater. It's like, no, I'm actually allowed to have an opinion on what's happened.
Do you know why though?
Why?
Because it happens so rarely that when it does happen,
the pressure.
There's pressure. Part of everybody that is not a hater just wants it to succeed. So the minute that you do point out the fact that there is something that could be done better, to put it diplomatically, then everyone sees that as hating. On top of the fact that
we're not saying to take it away from one black and give it to a white person. We're saying keep it black, just keep it with Mo Black.
I'm just saying like
Mo Black.
Like, put it this way, one of the things we was even talking about on the pod, I don't like the fact that the show is the Big Narstie Show. It needs to be both of these men's names. Let Mo's name stand there as the title of the show because he's doing so much. He's doing so much for that show.
He's trying to keep it on track.
He's there every week.
Yeah.
When he's doing it, he's there every week. He's the co-host. So basically what happens is Big Narstie will do a madness and he's trying to drag it back to make it normal.
I have no problem with that because there's many shows where the host is the host and there's a second person there that is a co-host and they don't mention the co-host.
So fair enough. But it's just that he's better than Big Narstie.
That's fine.
Maybe Big Narstie is the one that formulated the whole thing and told my man come in.
It could easily be that. And Big Narstie's doing a lot of work with Channel 4. He's been doing a lot of work with Channel 4. So I think this is them saying, you know what, you've been putting in work and when you're on shows, people seem to like you. Boom, boom, boom. We'll give you a show. And we'll see how it goes. Mo's doing bits at the moment. We're going to give him a show as well. I don't know how much Mo was actually doing before all of the internet stuff. Was he actually doing? You might know him a bit better than we do, obviously.
Mo's a bona fide stand-up comic.
So he was doing a lot before he started doing the internet stuff.
Yeah, and then he started doing the videos. And that just took him to another...
The videos, I gotta say, when it comes to the videos, Mo...
No one's touching Mo.
Yeah. And the reason why no one's touching him is because it's so accurate.
Yeah.
The barber one he did the other day was the most accurate thing I've ever seen in my life.
Because I don't go to the barbers, I could kind of get it, but it didn't seep into my soul. I used to club a lot. So that bouncer one was wicked. That bouncer was...
I don't think I've seen that one where he's different bouncers.
He does different style of bouncing. Wicked.
Man. Have you seen the recent one with the little kid?
No.
It's like he's sitting at his brethren's yard and there's a little kid, like the brethren's little brother, and he keeps on asking him for food. Bruv, that's hilarious. Go watch that.
He's so accurate with his videos. Anyway, all the best to them, man. There you go. Same way. I don't want the show to go, but I just think that Big Narstie needs to just fall back a bit.
It has its place, yeah. But the thing is, like with black entertainment, is that because, like you're saying, there's not that much. So whenever there's a pressure for one show to cover so many dynamics. It needs to be educational. It needs to be woke. It needs to represent all black people everywhere. It needs to make sure that, and it's just like, bro, let these men just have a show that's funny.
Yeah. But it's not funny.
Maybe they'll open the doors for other people.
That's subjective because people are finding it funny.
Yeah, no, I think there's parts of the show that's funny, but there's parts of the show that makes you want to cringe as well. Like, what's this?
Bro, last week you were a bit like you were soft on the way. You come back this week hard.
No, last week because I was just because he's black. I just wanted to leave him, but I can't.
Did you see it last? Do you see last?
I didn't see the Tiny Little one, and I was looking to watch that one. I watched the one with the recent one. I watched the one before that one with what's his name? Something Adebayo. I forgot his name.
Richard
Ade. Yeah, so I watched that one. And you know Richard Ade just makes people look stupid anyway, regardless.
That sarcastic wit, like this guy is so sharp, you can't trip him up.
Regardless. So he was just making Big Narstie look even more stupid. And Mo was just trying to bring it back. But then when you see the show and you see people come, and he gets good acting on that show. Like big people come on the show.
They had Ross from Friends this last Friday.
Yeah. And they just were looking at him like...
He's not Ross from Friends anymore, man. He's
David
He's
Schwimmer.
Mr. Kardashian.
No, is he?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He was big in it. But you know what? He is always going to be Ross from Friends.
He is Ross, bruv.
Was he going out with a Kardashian?
No, he played the Kardashian in the People versus OJ.
Tell me you watched The People versus OJ. The 5-part.
No, you need to watch that.
You gotta watch that.
Big man,
You gotta watch that.
that's really good TV.
Listen,
bruv.
I
have heard you speak about it before.
In the last 10 years, I've never got so excited over TV. Like, you know when you're... Because I don't do coonish stuff when I'm watching TV. I watch it and I enjoy it and then I sit down whilst I'm eating my very stale sandwich or something like that. I watch TV like a white person, yeah? But when I was watching The People versus OJ, I had the black came out of the inner South American black. Oh my God! I'm screaming at the TV, rolling around on the floor. No, what are you doing? Oh!
That's a true story as well, man.
It was wicked, man. It was wicked. It makes you want to... Like, me and my missus, we'll watch it. We get excited. We don't watch the same TV, you know. Apart from... what's that comedy? The fat dude and the mixed race woman.
Blackish.
With the big eyes. Blackish is the only thing we watch together.
That fat dude and the mixed race woman with the big eyes. That's what you called her. I don't even think she's mixed race.
Actually, man.
It's Tina Turner's daughter, bro.
Diana Ross's daughter. This man just picked any random black
Oh,
woman.
Diana Ross. I said Tina Turner. You know why? Because I just went to see Motown. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
I think she's black though.
You know the women in my family just went to watch that.
Yeah.
They set up a WhatsApp group and my mom, my sister, my wife, this one's fiance, my nephew's woman, they just went about their business and went to watch Motown and just came home like, yeah, we did it. Without you people.
Well, I mean,
don't you have a WhatsApp group? I'm like, no, we don't have a WhatsApp group. Thank you very much.
Let them enjoy without the men, man.
Imagine a WhatsApp group with our dad.
That's
He can respond 7 days later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everyone's saying the same conversation, and then 7 days later he'll be like, yes. I don't know what the yes is for.
My dad, man, you can't rely on that. Okay.
Yes,
all right, let's get started. Let me play a little video, and then we'll discuss this thing about. Well, I'll give you the question: does the older generation envy the younger generation? I'm gonna play a little clip about a younger generation talking about the older generation, and then Wahala's gonna tell us where it stems from, and we're gonna talk about this thing.
Okay, cool.
Travis, how old are you?
30.
30. Wow. So when I said millennials, I was putting you in that bracket. You don't look 30, man. You look older.
Oh shit!
Does he not look older?
Cheers.
I don't know.
30, man. That's young.
You actually look like someone famous. I'm trying to put my finger on it.
Do you get that a lot?
I have heard that from a few people.
I don't know,
A man or a woman?
Man's trying to shake the table here, you
He
know.
ain't that good looking.
Man said man or woman, you know.
Well, technically, you're the reason I asked anyway, didn't we?
Yeah, I do, but the way that came across was nuts.
Okay,
bro.
fair enough. I suppose so.
Man, sniping, you know.
Because his mom is actually quite famous. So that's why I was saying a man or a woman.
Okay, all right.
All right, let
But
me
you
talk
do
about
you look like your dad. Because I saw that video you did with your dad.
yeah.
Can
You
we-
look a lot like your dad.
Can we talk about it?
What's that?
About your mum?
Yeah,
All right, we'll talk about that a little later.
cool.
All right.
Find out who
Okay.
your mum is.
A lot of us millennials were raised to stay in a child's place, to stay out of grown folk conversation, and to lower our voice. Because she brought us into this world, and she could sure as hell take us out. And so we listened, but the problem is that when it was our turn to grow up and be adults, we didn't know how. Our voices were silenced with fear, and we were left out of conversations that would have given us information on how to maneuver and mature. And now, the same generations that didn't give us the proper information criticize us for not having the proper information. They'd be like, this new generation is so entitled and they're so spoiled. They have it so easy. All they want to do is drink and go on Snapchat and Instagram. First of all, Kathy, has it easy. Come make one of these Ed financial payments, dog. Most millennials don't have direction because we weren't shown how to navigate. If we weren't shown healthy relationships in real life, how are we supposed to create them? If we weren't shown self-love, how are we supposed to have it? If we weren't shown how to manage money, how are we supposed to manage it? That's why I'm on social media all the time, sharing any information that I have, because if we don't help each other figure it out, no one else is going to help us.
Travis,
Booyah.
I want you to start before I start insulting this woman. I want you to tell us what you feel about what she said. being the only, well, you're not the only millennial in the room actually, but you're like the proper millennial.
I definitely hate that word millennial, but that's another conversation. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I think it's one of them things where, yeah, some of those points there are valid, but a lot of it, I feel like you put too much sometimes when you look at the older generation. This era of social media has brought about like a real blogging culture where everyone's opinions is a think piece and a thread. So now that you got these people that blame everything on how they were raised, everything on their parents, and a lot of the time people don't take into consideration what parents were dealing with in their era. Mm-hmm. So while she's coming out with all these statements, I'm thinking to myself, big man, you're talking like they just knew all of these things that you've listed. A lot of people find out when it's too late. So yeah, you got this information, but that's all hindsight info. Your credit rating's in tatters because you just learned now about credit rating after you've been in debt for all these years, and because no one's knocking on the door, you didn't choose to address it. These are things that now we can pass down because, yeah, cool, a bit more experience, a bit more savvy than the older generation. I felt like, you look at, say, my grandma's era, that's Windrush, and then my parents' generation, 60s, 70s, and people like that era. Everybody was kind of going through phases, and you see that the African community that's come alongside us, they're like second generation right now. So they're dealing with some of the things that our parents do. Are you guys West Indian? You guys Caribbean?
Wow. No,
Nigerian.
We're all Nigerian in here.
Okay, cool. Well, I've noticed, like, second generation are dealing with what my parents would have gone through with their parents, because their parents would have come from another country. So a lot of their mindsets from, when you've come from another country to another country, you're just kind of want security, basic foundations. You're not really thinking.
Foundation is the word. That's the thing. We're building a foundation for
that's it.
The next thing. And then when the next things, like you said, we can build upon that.
That's
and
right.
we have more knowledge, and especially with the internet age, we found out stuff that it wasn't so easy for people to to find out. So, I didn't even look at it the way you said it. Yeah. I didn't think of it like I was just going to insult the woman, but you did it in a much more eloquent way. So I'm going to allow that woman because you did it.
No.
No, I think he said it better than I would have said it. So rather than me just going rah, 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 blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but I think
he said was, for me, like I fleshed it out. Or I took the thing that I resonated with the most. Everything he said makes sense to me. But the thing that really, really pinned it for me was the word foundation. And the people before us were setting the foundation. And now with the knowledge and the stuff that we have and the foundation that they laid, we can build upon that. So it's like they've done the one step of the ladder, we're doing step 2 or something like that or whatever, yeah? So you can't blame the people that were on one step for not knowing what was on step 2. That's so right. I agree with that. So while this did stem from somewhere, so...
Yeah, so the reason why I posted this question is because I was chatting online about this tweet that Daps... Flex God Daps. I don't know what his name means, but that's what he put himself down as. And he's a music video director. He directed a couple of the Migos videos, stuff like that. He's done big videos. He's the one that did Stormzy's Too Big for Your Boots video as well.
Is he American or
he's British?
UK. Okay, well done.
Nigerian British.
Well done. Good guy.
So
well done.
Yeah, he's done enough big videos.
And do I have to insult him as well now?
Oh,
after I pick him up.
I don't know. You have to insult him for. If you listen to the tweet, you'll see it. So basically, he said in his tweet, "It's so cute when I see 18 to 20-year-olds talking about what they will have and what they wouldn't. What they would have accomplished by the age of 30. Laughing my ass off. Okay." And then he's got a picture of him drinking tea.
Right? You're so rubbish at reading things, man.
Yes, I am.
But because I've read the tweet, say it again for me, please.
It's so cute when I see 18 to 20-year-olds talking about what they will have and what they would have accomplished by the age of 30. Laughing my ass off. Okay.
So what you're saying is that, well, what I'm gathering. Hold on, he had a follow-on tweet.
Yeah, he did have a follow-on tweet. I don't know if I put the follow-on tweet. Hold on.
Basically, because he got some backlash from that, so he put a tweet fleshing it out slightly, and let's see while I can find it. But I think what he's saying basically is that not everything it's not about necessarily setting your goals and thinking that if you don't have that done, you're a failure, or thinking that everything you want in life is just going to happen by 30 or 35. It's not just that easy. I think that's
what he was.
That was the gist of it.
No, what the second tweet was saying is basically, not everything goes the way that you want it to go by any age. So don't put an age on it. Just do what you want to do, and eventually life will give you what you're meant to have.
Yeah,
I think he was being diplomatic with that second bit.
No, but the second bit, this because you was talking about on your podcast, and what I needed people to understand is that it didn't come hours later. The second bit came almost straight after the original tweet. So he was just adding to the original tweet. He didn't do it because he saw backlash or people were cussing him or whatever. He was just adding to the original tweet what he put down. So I think what he was just saying, he was just explaining the first tweet in the second tweet. The second tweet still could be seen as condescending. No, I don't think it can. I think that was more like straight to the point. But people thought the first one to be condescending because he put a big picture on it and he was drinking the tea.
It's definitely condescending.
It was. But I think it's fine. Because it's the same type of thing I would tell somebody that's 18, 17, 20, saying by 30, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have the car, I'm gonna have the house, I'm gonna be married, or I'm gonna be on the way to having a child. And there's nothing wrong with having these goals, first of all, okay? So I want that set now, before anyone chats rubbish in my ears. There is nothing wrong with having goals set out for your life. But I just don't think it's necessarily realistic. A lot of the times, once you get to that age, you realize that, it wasn't as easy as just saying, when you're younger and you had the Argos catalogue and you said, Mummy, Daddy, I want this toy, that toy, that toy. I don't know what you like. Maybe it's the website you do now, but back in the day, that's what we did. We went through every page, and if I could have something on this page, it'd be that, and then go to the next page. I want that. It's not that easy. There's nobody with that money that's just gonna buy these things for you. So
I don't know what house you came from because it was never that easy in my house either.
What?
Put the catalogue away. Are you bringing me that catalogue? No, we're gonna get the thing from the Argos catalogue.
No, hold on. Did I say I actually asked for it? No, I just said I just in my head I was doing it.
Okay.
Was I stupid enough to go and actually ask for?
Okay, as long as you know.
What am I asking for?
You get one Lidl's grade, whatever figure it was, boy.
So
I was looking in the Littlewood's catalogue.
I know what you was looking in Littlewood's catalogue for, and it wasn't for toys.
No, I was looking at the bras.
The bras
and the panties. You know what I mean? Boy.
Areola.
Man's trying to look through that
light see-through one.
Trying to look through it, boy. Trying to find one nipple through there, boy. That nip slip.
Madness. But anyway,
them older people don't know what man needs to go through to get that little through back in the day.
That's what I'm saying, man.
15 minutes of free TV.
In it. Not even just that. Not even the 10 minutes. 10 minute promo bit.
They don't know that, man.
They don't know about that.
Everything is online for them.
Yeah, man. They don't know the struggle, boy.
Television X.
You're there waiting for your parents to go to bed before midnight.
When you fast forward the films to find the sex bit in the films. I tell you which one had a good sex bit.
Emmanuel.
Not even Emmanuel. What film was it? Jason's Lyric.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Will, but you remember when they had a titty in that film, boy? I saw a titty one time. It did turn me on.
Okay,
anyway, so let's go over again.
After that shift, let's take
a left turn there.
Yeah. Man. So all right, that's my view. I think that it's just not that easy. But by all means, I hope all you people are successful, and if you're positive and what you want is positive, I hope you get it. But it's not all about I just want to, especially these people talking about marriage and kids. By the time you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know what's going to happen with life, man.
Yeah,
you don't know what's going to happen with life. So I'm just saying, man, because I think I think what he's doing is he's talking from experience. Because I think even men,
he's got the problem that the people had with him
is he's made.
If they asked him
sort of success.
They asked him, did you do what you was meant to do by your 30? And he said yes. And he's had success. So people are like, so if you've done it, why are you coming to tell me that I can't?
Because
basically?
9 out of 10 people don't do it.
Yeah, but in the end, that's how people are seeing it. So the message was the correct message. I think people had a problem. It was coming from the messenger in the way it came. If he was humble with it, then maybe they want, because people a lot of obsessed with people being humble all the time. Shout out Kante. But they want you to make sure, that
people got too much of an issue with the tone.
The tone. I was thinking, if the message is correct and he's not actually abusing you, right, just take it in it. Just take the time.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, but you're saying like 9 out of 10 people don't accomplish what they want.
I think it's more than I think I'm undercutting it as well. It's not 9 out of 10. It's 95 out of 100.
Okay, I mean, not that we know all the people out there, but
most people.
I wouldn't agree with those odds. Not in this era.
You think people are just doing like I'm talking about? They're talking about having children by this age.
Oh, you're talking about
having a house.
Those life goals.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I want to be in forget even. Let's leave it.
Finish uni by the time.
No, that's basic. That's basic.
Well,
that's basic.
So you're just talking about big ones like I want to get married, have a kid, and have a business. Having like 5 or 6 things.
I bought a house by 25. I've finished uni. I've got a degree. I get a degree and I come straight out of university and get a job straight away. The job that I want.
I don't know. If you said I want to be working in advertising by the time I'm 30, cool.
It's because sorry.
I want to finish uni by the time I'm 25. Cool. I want to do one thing. That's cool. But once you're setting out your life. And you've got this big plan of this is where my life is going to be by the time I'm 35, and you really believe that's what's going to happen. Yes, I'll laugh at you. I'll laugh, especially if it includes a partner.
Why?
Unless you're just going to pick any man or woman that comes your way. How do you know?
You don't know what type of partner you're going to get, but setting those kind of life goals, I don't see a problem with it.
There's nothing wrong with setting them, but it doesn't mean that the person can't say to you,
this is why he's black.
Unlikely for you to happen.
Because what's the first thing I said?
Yes, no,
So what
no,
you gonna
I
say?
know you said that there's no problem with it, but
So
you're
then you
still,
don't have
but
to
you
follow
still
it,
got an
my
issue with it somehow.
No, I'm saying it's not realistic.
Why is
But-
it not realistic?
Because I know you people are disagreeing with me, or somebody is. 95 out of 100 people don't do it. So if 95 out of 100 people are telling me they're gonna play in the Premier League, or like if you got you're a football person and you coach your kids and you feel that all of them say they're gonna play in the Premier League, you know they're not. So if they're saying I'm gonna buy my mum this when I get into the Premier League, it's all good to dream what you want, but most of you are not gonna make
I
it.
think that's not a realistic.
It's the same
type
thing,
Of,
it's the same thing.
No, but
comparison. And
it
the
is
reason
a
why,
real
no,
comparison.
no,
That's false
because
equivalence, big time.
because being a football player, when you look at the numbers, it's a lottery. Saying that you're
So's
going
life.
to, it is a lottery, but it's realistic that you could actually find a partner and
possible.
get married by the time you're 30. It's a
I'm
realistic.
not saying it's
But
unrealistic.
30 is not the number. 25 is the number. I would say that people are trying to go nuts about. But you was gonna say something. What was you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say the reason why young people speak like that is that life seems far away when you're 17 talking about 30.
Mm-hmm.
It seems far away.
It's like yesterday.
I'm 30 now, and I've like the distance between being at uni to now feels like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It speeds up real quick. But at the same time, I think when you're speaking condescendingly, kind of like that, you're gonna get that type of reaction because people are going into life right now at that stage very optimistic, very full of optimism. You see what I'm saying? And for someone to come and just start talking like that,
Yeah, life will slap.
I'm not here for that. Like at that age, I'm in my age of excitement. I'm looking forward to all of these different things. And you're just there telling me it's cute that you got dreams that seem a bit out of the ordinary.
You know
Big man.
I love it.
Like for me, I'm like, no, but I understand why you would want to give a message of reality to the youth because you know what life looks like. So when I speak to my brother and my sister, I got a brother, my brother's 22, sorry, 23.
He's at
my
that
sister's
age.
19. So
I want to make money age.
that's it. But I don't talk them out of wanting their things.
Mm-hmm.
I just try and let them know, listen, like,
and guide them. You guide them through.
There you go.
What could be certain
There you go.
pitfalls.
All right, let's touch on
You get me?
let's touch on the question then, because the reason why the question came out is because a lot of the tweets I was seeing back was people saying that you olders are jealous of us youngers because we're doing bits that you can't do, right? And if I'm gonna be honest, I do jealous some of these young people,
Yeah.
because the opportunities that they've had to be able to make revenues of money, I don't think we had when we was that young. Like this man's making money off playing computer games. There was no way of us making money off playing computer games to this level that they were making now.
How old
Because
are
of the internet age.
How old are you?
I'm 35.
Okay.
So, no, when I was young, Super Nintendo was not making you any money because there was no such thing as YouTube. Do you know what I mean? So, I do envy certain things that they've had and avenues that they've allowed themselves to make money. But I also, I'm very impressed in the way that they found these avenues. So, it's not a case of me saying, I'm envying you and I don't want you to do well. I'm envying you because I didn't have those avenues. But I'm also impressed about the things that you do. The only time that I'm cussing any young people is when they start doing foolishness. If you're doing foolishness to make money, I'm not involved with that. But that's young or old regardless. It doesn't necessarily matter the age. But yeah, they've had some opportunities that I don't think that we had to make revenues of money. So even the tech era now, these guys are making things of like for us to make this podcast, even 10 years ago when we started, is a lot different from it is now.
There's software and things like that. It's a lot easier now. You can do it from your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's certain things that they can do that's come their way that's a lot easier than when we've had it. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing.
To be honest, we're not using anything different than we could have used 10 years ago. So
But we are.
No, but we are. But everything we're using now, we could have done
I
10
never
years
knew you was a harlot.
So I think the entry, I think the price wise is different.
Okay, so the price wise, but you can still do it on the phone now. You was talking about an app just the other day where you can do a whole podcast on your phone, and Chris said, "Yeah."
But that's why I said what we are doing. But yes, you can
So
do it. You can
don't
do it on
worry
the phone.
about us,
10 years
innit?
ago,
Just talk about the general public.
before
innit?
even
I'm not talking
iPhone
about just
even existed.
Yes, I'm talking about everyone that wants to start doing podcasting. I'm only using an example. It's not the biggest example,
I
but there's
just
other
wanted to
things.
correct you, that's all.
You know what I mean? There's other things. Even the case where, even if you wanted to, okay, let's use YouTube for example. For us, if you wanted back in the day when we was younger, let's say that we was about 19, 20, right? Well, definitely Mr. Wolf, because that's a long time ago, right? You did that, yeah? You can't really just make a video on your phone and upload it to a channel and it's there.
It was mad.
Not when he was 19 and 20.
Yeah, remember when I was 22, we were doing YouTube before YouTube.
Yeah, but he was 20.
Yeah, Mob's video.
Yeah,
innit?
but he was.
So
20. I said when he was 19 and 20.
just somebody
Well,
was
he ain't that far away from me, you know.
That distance is far, bro.
You get
But
me?
anyway,
He ain't that far away
as I
from
said,
me. And I look the youngest in there.
it wasn't necessarily, you know what I mean? It wasn't accessible.
But
So
we had to build the platform actually.
So do you guys actually feel like that about younger people coming up now?
Unlike him, I don't. All right, what I'd say is that I kind of I don't think there's anything wrong with jealousy. First of all, I think this is the something I want known. There's nothing wrong with jealousy. It's how you take that. So you can be jealous or envious. Or envy is a better word. I can be envy of you have something I don't have, and that's cool. As long as you don't try and tear the person down. I always say that. If you have money, and I want money, rather than try and rob you, it's like, how do you make your money? Let me see if I can do the same thing, or can you help me make money? So there's nothing wrong with the envy or the jealousy. It's how you deal with it. So that's first of all. So there's nothing. So yes, I would agree in some regards. I can look at the younger generation and say, wow, you got certain things easy. That's cool. But then that's it. Unfortunately, I have it easier than my parents did when they came over, and there were people were chucking bananas at them maybe on the street or something. I don't know, but that's just life. It's nothing that I hold against them at all. So that's me personally. Maybe they come across people that are looking and, back in my day, blah, blah, we couldn't do this and that, and saying it in a more spiteful or in a bit more of a hate-ish way. It's the hate that I think is the important thing, not the envy. I'm not like that. I'm cool with what I've got, and so therefore I'm not necessarily looking at you. What I can say is that, oh boy, if I was 10 years younger,
what you'd do?
Yeah, things would be different.
But I think that's with even when the youngsters get a little bit older, they'll be saying the same thing.
That's it.
That's what I said. It's a circular thing.
It's just
right.
it's just a circle thing. I mean, in relation to the woman in the video that I sent in, I think she's just moaning, and I think that at that age, you need to take more of a responsibility for your actions and the things that or the situations that you find yourself in. Yes, we can point fingers at people. They should have guided us and what have you. But when you reach a certain age, unless you feel like you are literally a whatless individual, you should know some things. And especially in this day and age, it's the information age. Everybody knows everything. If you're like, my son's 14 now and he knows about credit. You get me? So that's down to me to teach him about that and just teaching the generation.
But then you're agreeing with what she said, because she actually mentioned physical stuff, like, you didn't teach us this.
No. But he's addressing the fact that, and from his generation onwards, he's now picked that up.
But he's not a millennial.
Yeah, but so that means that your parents would have come from another country, right?
Yeah.
That's right. So you have to remember what the things that they would have been dealing with on their arrival. It's possible that could have been missed. That's why I feel like some of these statements that people make, like, coming over in the Windrush era, right? That would have been in the 40s. There were so many obstacles that they had to have faced just to make a basic living. There was no dealing with banks and just getting anything as you want.
I'm agreeing with you.
No. I know what I'm saying, but I'm just trying to kind of add more to his point. So when people look back at their era of their parents and they start pointing fingers, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you're like, bruv, take some accountability of what you could have learned yourself. Do you see what I mean? And that's what I think, like, when people point back, I definitely do hate that. I really do, because it's such a narrow-minded way of looking at events. And just being in it from quite a selfish way, just like, right, you didn't teach me that. And in all these years of me being here, I didn't once decide to find out.
But, okay, to play devil's advocate, she's not just saying that, I don't know this, I don't know that, you didn't teach me. What she's saying is that you guys are chastising, judging, pointing your fingers at us and saying we got it so easy when you did nothing for us. Part of what she said even was, and this is one of the things I agree with, is that how do we know how to be in good relationships when we didn't even see a good relationship at home? You didn't. You weren't.
I think she's talking about personal experiences then, because there are some households, many households even, that have a good, stable,
honest relationship
setting.
That's right.
You understand? But like I said, and I've always said it, and this is my rhetoric: people only think and remember and talk about what is not good.
Yeah, we focus on negatives.
You
There's
understand?
a lot of positive. You know what? People don't like to talk about the positive couples because it's not exciting.
That's what I mean.
It's not exciting. You want to talk about the negative couples because that is the thing that's exciting.
One other thing that I wanted to touch on was it's a saying that I like, and it is put a deadline to your dreams, otherwise you'll be dreaming forever. You get me? So that's one thing that I think that that we should live by that, and I think that we should maybe show our kids the same thing as well.
I don't know about that.
Just before you split her off, because I know you're going to go.
I'm not necessarily splitting her off. What kind of guy? Say what you're saying.
Travis?
Go on, Travis.
I don't know about that deadline on the dreams. Like, if you're trying to be in the Premier League, big man, if you hit 28, you might have to wrap that up because it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But, no,
Ian, right?
You're still chasing that.
Yeah,
I think there's an.
24
I think that's
or something like that.
Ian Wright got to professional football late.
Yeah, but how late? Was it like 24 or something like that?
Yeah, around about that.
If you're 28, still looking for trials.
There's no way you're going to end the Premier
Yeah,
League.
I think there's a realistic mind view
If you're already in,
to the saying.
But,
So
but at the
don't-
same time, like I remember one, like an ex-girlfriend of mine asked me, at what age, if you haven't made it as a stand-up comic, are you gonna wrap it up? And that question baffled me because I was like,
is that why she's an ex?
what are you talking about? Well, that's definitely one of the reasons. But I was just like, what are you talking about? If by a point, I'm like, when it happens, it happens. Michael McIntyre, people look at that when he had his massive run, when he was everywhere, as like, raw, yeah, you know, that was overnight success. Big man, overnight success can take 20, 30 years. So if he was to have quit when he was, like, he hit hard times, he could have packed in and got a 9 to 5 at any point.
But what you classifying as success? Because again, her level of success for you might have been completely different from your level of success. You might have thought, I've done some stadium shows, I've done this, I've done that. People know my name when I walk down the street. For me, that's successful. Whereas for her, she's like, well, we don't live in a mansion, so it's not successful. So what did you classify as success? What was her level? Was it two completely different levels, or was it on the same plane?
That I wouldn't be able to answer for her. For me, success is, I have so many different goals and milestones, but you know, like just recently, I've just handed in my notice, quitting my 9 to 5.
Oh, jeez. That's when you know you're going in for it, boy.
So-
It's hot in this room, but I'm sweating. I'm sweating on your behalf.
Them payments there, boy, it has to come from the proper main job now.
That's
You
it.
get me?
That's
That's
a
it.
level of
But
success.
it's a milestone.
Instead of saying I'm sweating on your behalf, congratulations.
Yes,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
I appreciate
Congratulations.
I think that you're gonna be fine anyway. That's what I don't know why I got a confidence about you that you're gonna be fine and they get to where you're going.
I appreciate
Because
that.
you got a rise. There's something about you that I think you've got. Your comedy seems to, for me, is one of those comedy that you can go to different levels.
Yeah.
So I think most crowds can get you. So I think in the end you're gonna be right. I think I don't know. I've got faith in you and I've got faith in Griff that both of you are gonna be okay in comedy.
I appreciate that.
And I
He's
feel-
got faith in himself, man.
That's it.
That's why he's done
Amen.
it.
Yeah.
Amen.
I mean, there's a few people out there that I know that have done a similar thing. They've decided to hand their notice in, whether they're doing music, they're session musicians, something creative, or they're starting their own business, and they believe in themselves. You know what I mean?
You can't do if you don't believe, man.
Well done. Well done.
That's
And,
it.
and
Well
that's the
done.
thing.
And I think that's
and just connecting on to the question a little bit as well. Some of these youngsters believe in
that's
themselves.
what I'm saying. That's the difference
so
between them
much.
and the oldest.
That's what I'm saying. They believe in themselves that they're willing to say, do you know what? I know and I can, and I've seen it happen. I'm going to do this by that time.
And I think that's the difference between the youngers and the olders, because we was always told, go to school, go and do this, go and do that. These
That's
are
right.
set paths. And the youngers have been told kind of, or they've been shown, you can do anything you want to do. Remember, that's the problem that we've got with some of these kids, that they don't know no. They don't know no.
That's right.
So
That's
they just
right.
do what they want. So this, in their era, it's like, well, you know what, I can be who I want and I can do who I want. I can do who I want. You know? Well, they think that too as well.
Well, that's
but,
definitely happening.
but yeah, they think that too. But I was going to go with something that you actually said, and it's good to have you in the room actually when you're talking about it. Because it's something I wanted to talk about ages ago and I never spoke about it.
Can
So
I just say one thing?
Go
Before
on.
Is it splitting this off a bit, innit?
it's a bit, yeah, so go on.
All right. Just when you mentioned the relationships, the good ones are boring. Somebody's been in our inbox, so I'm not going to mention who because I don't know if they want to be known. But they were asking about relationships and where I think it was a documentary or something they wanted to do about black couples, just sensible black couples. And I said, I'm in one. Yeah, married a few years, been with her a few more years, you know. And she's like, oh, yeah. No. I'm not putting my relationship out there because as much as I'll yap, and I'll tell you about stuff like big. In fact, one of the things last week when I got done for saying about, you know, I don't recall lying to my parents, I got called up on it, like, don't tell me you don't lie. And then I had to sit there and think about it because last week I said, I can't remember lying to my parents.
Oh.
I got bad memory, but I don't remember. But then I realized I remember a time when I lied when I was being beaten by my ex-girlfriend and she clawed at me. And yes, I've been in an abusive. Man looked at me. I've been in a
Brother Travis, we need you to help with this situation.
I was in a physically abusive relationship. I was
It's a common scenario.
beat up by the woman, or not beat up, but she was hitting me and drawing
I
blood.
prefer beat up.
So no. So there's times when I got home and I'd have cuts and bruises and whatnot. And my parents, oh, what happened? And I remember one specific time saying, I ran for the bus and I fell over.
Wow. You're telling lies out here in the streets. My nigga, that's an abused man, you know?
So that is the time I remember lying to my parents. But anyway, so going back to the next
boy
thing.
come home.
Yeah, so you notice some of the best relationships, they don't want to put themselves out on blast. Some of them, that's what I'm saying. Some people will be happily secretly, not secret, but because everyone knows I'm married, I got a ring, and I talk about it on the podcast.
But I'm talking about in your day-to-day, innit? I'm not talking about having to go on YouTube and chat about it. I'm talking about on a day-to-day basis. We know people that's in good relationships, but that's not the ones that we talk about. The ones that we talk about is the volatile ones where things are kicking off. Because that's the most exciting one. Nobody cares about what you do in your kitchen.
But what I would say is that a lot of people that we came up with, I've said this before, I remember I did this tweet, a lot of the people we came up with were in broken families. A lot of them. And when I went to school, most, not some, not half, most of the people my age that I was coming up with did not have both their parents at home. And I said, my people, my age, let's say between 35 and 40 something, a lot of them now are wicked parents, because a lot of these people, their dads weren't around or their dads were just in and out. The men my age are wicked fathers, but not so many of them are wicked partners or husbands. They're in their children's lives. They've had children, but they're not with the mother. But at least they're in the child's life and they're doing the best they can do. Yeah. So I said I want to know what it's going to be like for the next generation, because a lot of people my age are on that flex. So you're saying that we know a lot of people in couples. Yeah, we do, but we also know a lot of people that aren't.
Yeah, it's true.
And we know because I think we know a lot of good parents. I think sometimes you're even confusing the two. But they call parents so well, it's like you forget they're not even in a relationship sometimes.
But I think the breaking down of a relationships has a lot to do with many different factors, and I don't think it's one of those things where we look at it as a black community problem when divorce rates are high universally. So that if there's kids involved in those marriages,
well, I didn't say black, by the way.
But I'm just saying, like, this narrative does follow the black community, especially about black men and absent homes and not being good dads. That's a stereotype that sticks with us. It's not really backed by stats, but it definitely sticks with us. But there's a lot of people that are dealing with this across different cultures and backgrounds because divorce rates are high.
No, the statistics say black fathers spend more time with their children than any other type of father.
That's what I'm saying. But if you bought into the rhetoric, you believe we just ain't even there.
That is stats. I was just watching a program about that a few days ago, and they were talking about dating, about how there's a racial bias with dating, especially with dating apps, and how they did a trial on people they even know, and that was one of the stats they brought up. So. Yeah, but anyway, Wahala, you had this thing you want to talk about. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to splinter off because one of the things I've been thinking about a lot. In fact, it comes from that comedian discussion as well. Okay, is the pioneers of those videos, the comedians that was doing those videos back in the day. Like man's like you used to mention, "Don't Jealous Me." Remember, "Don't Jealous Me" came out. That was years ago before people were doing these little videos. And then you've got KG the comedian,
Shadrach and Amanda.
Shadrach and Amanda. I'm thinking, do these guys do they ever? And A-Dot as well. A-Dot was doing them years ago. How did they feel about these man?
Don't come and ask for me.
No, they show love. They show love.
Yeah, but how do they feel like? Because these mans are blowing up over Instagram with these videos that they're posting out, and these mans' videos are better than the ones I've seen a lot of these guys on Instagram doing as well. By the way,
these guys, those guys are the first school, innit? Like KG's my boy, so I was talking to him about this stuff all the time. They just look at it like, raw, like we started this. Do you know what I mean? This whole kind of social media wave of like content. You know what I mean? Because they like when people like when I used to the radio show that I do, we started out with KG.
Okay.
And for personal reasons, he had to leave the show. But working with KG, everyone's just like, right, that's Shadrach. Right, that's Shadrach. Like that is etched in people's minds.
Guns and pork, bruv.
That's what I'm saying. This is a classic content. T-Boy with the Don't Jealous Me. They were doing crazy views like back then. So I think them man just have to just know they're always respected.
He's moved into the relationship field, right? He's YouTubing with his wife.
Yeah. I think he has just had a child actually. But I just think to myself, they'd be like us. Because they came in a space. They came in a space where it wasn't necessarily.
I was just telling Travis before we started. I hope you guys don't mind because I'll be exposing our business a bit. I was saying how.
I mind.
What did I say? What did I say? Well, I was talking about the numbers thing, innit? And I was saying,
boy, he's carried it. Go ahead,
I'll cut it out if you don't like it.
No,
man. No, what was it? Because we were talking about. I said, we were talking about how we started ages ago, and how I was actually specifically talking about how we used to record off one mic. So right now we're all mic'd up nicely. Yeah. So as much as I'm saying we could have recorded 10 years ago with the equipment we have now, we didn't. We recorded on one microphone, 5 guys sitting in my bedroom on one mic. Mr. Wolf.
That sounds greasy, boy.
Mr. Wolf is very low. Even up to now, my sister and my missus, both of them say they can't hear you, brother. And I'll turn you up high. But even now, when I have your own channel, they said they can't hear you. Back when I recorded off one mic, I had to individually go through the 2 hours, well, it was about an hour and a half back then, and louder up every bit where Mr. Wolf was talking individually. It took me forever. Forever.
No Wu-Tang.
That's why when I said if we start this podcast again, we need something, because I ain't doing that no more. But I was saying that
I appreciate that.
even though we started,
Is that you just talk louder? Yeah. Is that you just talk louder?
Like, thanks, man.
Oh man, you never
you not
mentioned
know?
that, you know. No, I
what
didn't
do you
know that,
think?
bro.
What did you say? That's why I said I hated doing that stuff, man. The editing took forever. Recording the podcast was blessed.
You hated editing me, bro.
No, in general, but you make it worse, innit?
I made it harder for you.
Yes.
Yes.
No homo.
Wow. Oh, so now you know. Now you know what to say.
I'm only joking because I hate that thing. But anyways, I was saying that even though we started ages ago and we came back,
Yeah.
when I said your podcast, I said probably does bigger numbers than us. That's what I said. And so this is why I don't know if these guys mind stuff like that. I said I didn't even check it, but I'll just assume because everybody's leapfrog us in terms of numbers.
Not everyone, but a few of them.
Most people just come. I said it don't want to matter if a podcast started last week. They'll have more listeners than us next week.
Boy, I don't know about that.
But I, and this is, call it ego or call it whatever you want. Yeah, I'm very happy with the quality of my podcast or our podcast. When I listen to other podcasts, and no shade on nobody, I think ours is the best in the UK. Standard, finished.
If you didn't think yours was the best, I'll be annoyed with it.
No, I'm
I'll
not.
tell you what, I think the rest of
because-
these guys should think this is the best.
No,
Whether or not
they
it's the
shouldn't.
truth.
They shouldn't because ours is the best.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm not saying it to be. Oh, let's all be nice.
That's where the Twitter's gonna come for you.
Ours is
You're not letting anyone have any sign. You're putting us down. Us youngers are trying to sing.
I just said everybody's doing better than us in terms of just
Yeah,
getting
but
numbers.
they want the accolades, isn't it?
No. I deserve the accolades. I deserve that. We deserve the accolades. Sorry. So anyway, you were kind of splinter off. You're talking about.
Yeah, so I'm talking about the past, the comedians and stuff like that, and how they were doing the videos, and then they're seeing people like Mo blowing up, other guys blowing up because of these videos, and they must think to themselves, "But we did these videos ages ago."
To be fair, like everybody, the social media thing is like specifically, entertainment in general is like a conveyor belt. That's how I see it. Like all comedians have their moment where the spotlight is on them.
They got
like,
time.
You have your run.
Everyone's got time.
Yeah, you have your run. Social media, I feel like the run is just a bit more condensed. So you can reach the like higher heights in a very short time, and then there's someone else.
I think that's why Drake is people see Drake as such an amazing person because he's managed to keep the
So he's
high
held that position for
so
10
long.
years. Yeah, it's mad.
For so long, and
I would argue with you when it comes to comedians.
No,
Comedians hold not the social media part. You said they have like their,
I said
their thing.
social media is higher heights, but in a shorter time.
No, but before that you said comedians kind of like they have their run.
You have your run, yeah.
And is it so when the run's over? What is it?
When you're not out the game. You're just not in that number one seat.
Okay.
like, so at the moment, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, and Kevin Hart are the top three, innit? Let's say that, yeah.
For blacks.
But Kevin Hart. Oh yeah, for blacks. Let's just do blacks because I don't know white comedians. I don't understand them. So Kevin Hart, yeah,
Oh, I like that,
is probably the number one. But at one point, Kevin Hart was no one.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys that were Chris Rock, I think he was big, but they're still big now. They're still selling that arena. They're still making stupid amount of money.
You always, but that's the point. I think you always have a conveyor belt of who's number one, who's number two, who's the most popular, who's popping now. But the way I see it is once they pop, Eddie Murphy could do a show now after X amount of years and will fill out arenas all over the world.
The comeback.
So once you pop, it's like you're at that level, and that's it.
Would you pay to see Eddie Murphy?
Of course.
Yes.
I probably would.
No, if I was, I don't go to comedy shows, but if I was going to do and Eddie Murphy was doing a comeback show at the O2,
You're paying whatever that ticket costs.
yeah, I would
I
go.
don't even know if I would even go watch Eddie Murphy film now.
But the films he fell off, but you don't know what he's like with this stand up.
He might be
Because he hasn't shown you in the last 20 or 30 years.
There
or
is
whatever
so
it
much stuff that Eddie Murphy could speak about now.
That's what I'm saying.
That would be crazy.
people are-
Even if he just critiqued his own past.
That's what I'm saying. His leather trousers and all of that stuff.
And
That was
and
wild,
getting
bro.
caught with the trans.
His
transvestite.
show would be bad.
That's what I'm saying. You just
Standard.
Even just an update on his life at the moment, because he did those 2 specials and then just ghosted.
That's what I mean.
Who's that? Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
I don't even remember even seeing the stand-up specials he did. I don't
Raw
think I've
and
seen it.
Delirious.
Oh, the two. I'm talking about new ones.
No.
Yeah, he went
Just those 2, yeah.
Even the Mel B situation, there's enough stuff that he can speak about. That I'll be like, boy, Eddie, what's going on with your life?
So
bro?
now you turn yourself around, and now you wouldn't want to interest.
No, I don't know. No, stand up, I think, but the films, I don't know if I'd watch.
Well, that's why I didn't mention film. I said stand up. I was talking about comedy. Comedy and chlamydia are two different things, but they sound the same. So I'm saying that comedians seem like once you reach a certain level, it don't die out. So Jerry Seinfeld, you know, he's just doing his little Netflix things there,
thing,
which I think I actually really enjoy.
I haven't watched
let
it
him
yet.
let him do a stage show. Any of these big man
It's gonna sell
from
out.
20 or 30 years ago, even come back and do a stage show. All of them.
But that's the top flight. Like what I'm saying.
That's what I
is,
said. Once you pop,
once you pop, now for real. Once you pop, you're there. You're in that league. Whether or not you're number one, you might drift to mid-table, but you're still in that league to command an audience
and make money.
Yes, right.
comedians are rich.
Who's your favorite comedian?
I don't know.
What about you?
I don't follow comedy like that.
Favorite comedian? It may be. There's quite a few of them, man. I don't know. What's my man's
Kings
name?
of Comedy is one of my favorite.
The one that's passed away now.
Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac. There was Bernie Mac.
I ain't scared of you.
Yeah, man.
That's everyone's favorite, man.
He was a serious comedian, man. I loved him.
Chris Rock's better than all of them. That's my personal opinion.
You know,
have you heard his last
Dave
special?
Chappelle,
Yeah, the last special wasn't the best.
Yes.
No,
So-
I think Chris Rock's better than Dave
so
Chappelle.
for
No,
me,
he's not. No,
I
he's
think
not.
Bigger and Blacker, all of the ones before this last one that came out,
He's done
Chris
specials.
Rock is the best.
He's done specials that have been
not sure
they're
he's the
iconic,
best.
but he's not better than Dave Chappelle. I'm sorry.
How
He
about
did-
I
Chris
think he's better
Tucker
than-
before he,
No,
got
not as
all
a
night?
stand- not as a stand-up.
I love Chappelle. Chappelle's probably my second favorite, but for me, Chris Rock. If you're going by specials alone, yeah,
Then Dave Chappelle wins.
I
bro.
think Chris Rock beats him in
Can
specials.
I tell you the difference for me between Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock? Dave Chappelle,
Is no filter. Absolutely zero filter.
I don't feel like Chris Rock's filtered.
Chris
as such,
Rock makes
but-
me laugh from my head and like my belly. Dave Chappelle makes me laugh from my head, my belly, my soul, my heart. It's like
It's different.
I'm hurting when I finish laughing
Yeah.
with Dave
I
Chappelle.
love Chris Rock,
and
man.
then I'm thinking, man said that. Thank you, because
Because you think maybe somebody else wouldn't. I went to see Dave Chappelle in concert a few years ago.
Yeah,
and
the Hammersmith Apollo.
Yeah, I went there.
and
I was there as well.
look at all you
I
blacks.
just shook my head. I said, did
Just
this
amazing.
guy touch on that?
He came with his cigarette, tried
Yeah.
to kill us all on the stage.
Just
And
smoked
that's
in
at
there.
the time when you weren't allowed to smoke.
Smoke, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He doesn't care.
He said he don't care. I don't care.
Do you know what he embodies for me? Like what stand-up comedy is supposed to be. Like
No
I don't
filter.
care what these rules are. I'm saying what I'm saying. Like,
I hear
like
this, yeah,
especially the last special on Netflix in this era of being PC.
But he apologized though.
Brother came with 2-foot tackles on every subject.
He apologized on certain
He
things.
came back and said, no, he came back
He
in his own way.
apologized and then dissed again.
Yeah,
he did in his
He's
own
a
way.
savage.
He knows what he's doing.
That's
That
why-
Chris Rock,
that's what I like to
Chris
do.
Rock new one. I was
Chris
like,
Rock's
come
new
on,
one.
man. I was
Chris
like,
Rock's new one
nah.
was like he was angry.
Yeah, in
And
a way.
I felt like, okay, there's a lot going on, and I know he's gone through a divorce, and there's a lot of things happening in his life, and I felt like that showed in his stand up for the first
I
time.
didn't
wasn't
really
funny.
laugh as much. No, I didn't laugh as much at all. And I went to go watch that one live as well. I would say now, if you would say me which one I want to watch now, I would always say Dave Chappelle. But if I'm talking about from the past and I'm talking about the specials, the Chris Rock specials.
I've got
just
a
made me
question.
Cry, man.
For Travis and everybody else here. Do you think that there is a British comedian that can reach those heights?
I think
And if so, is there one out now?
I think once the spotlight starts to open for black British comedy, which is here, because realistically, right, we're so under the radar in this country, it's ridiculous. We sell out theatre. Like, listen, I'm one of the comics that I've performed at Palladium, Hackney Empire is somewhere we frequent often. I've performed at all these big theatres, these grand venues. They will not be intimidating to so many of us because that's normal for us all the year round. A lot of these white guys on the mainstream circuit, they're privileged enough in the fact that they have an infrastructure of what stand-up the circuit is for them, right? And I say them, but I'm on that circuit as well, like now. But you can see that you do this gig, you meet this promoter, you do this, and you can see where the steps are to be taken. Whereas on the black circuit, it's quite small, so it's quite easy to find out who the really good ones are. So a lot of the time you see the flyers, it's a lot of the same faces. Or the same faces with a couple ones that have changed. So we're in this, like we're here and we're kind of making waves. We're doing big numbers, but the mainstream don't show any attention to the black circuit. Whereas back in the day, they were kind of paying attention, like the Real McCoy era. It was like there was a segue to TV there. They closed that door and they're only just
there's no
about
TV.
opening it.
Were you talking about black people in general, or just in general?
No, I'm talking about black British comedians.
So you still haven't answered the question.
No, I'm getting to that. They're not acknowledging us into to the point where we have that opportunity. Once they start to open that floodgate, there will be many. There'll be many. We'll have runs that are like where Kevin Hart's gone on his run and the next person will come after because we have that talent there.
Do you think there's one out now that has the potential to?
I think the way Mo is blossoming.
Mo's
they're recognizing him and they're getting behind him. He's in a position to get.
You think? I mean,
he's getting his own show as well, isn't he? As well, or is it a Big Narstie Show? The show that he's
the pilot was commissioned. So depending on how that goes, they might give.
Let me ask you a very direct question, and by all means, tell me you're not going to answer if you're not going to answer.
Okay.
If this switch, this floodgate did just open, and the people in charge said, "Yeah, man, come true," and whether it's a film or a Netflix said you all have specials. God damn, which one person in let's stick with the black field is all right? You all make Netflix specials,
okay?
Yeah, hour, half hour, whatever it is, and you all put it out. Which one of you do you think they're the one that's gonna pop in it? They're the one that's gonna blow.
I'm saying me.
Yeah, I like it. I love it. I love it. So I said my podcast is the best. Your comedy show's the best.
Straight. I don't care.
Wow. Are you saying that because you feel as a comedian you should always believe in your product? Or are you saying that because you actually believe that's it?
I'm saying that on many different levels. I'm saying that for someone you should believe in your product. I'm saying that because I'm one of the most slept on comics on the circuit, and I've still achieved a lot. But there's politics behind the scenes that I would never come forward and start talking about because that's just long and that's not my style. But there's levels to what's been going on, and I look at it and I'm thinking to myself, the minute I am no longer in this situation where I'm having to deal with these things, bruv, it's a different game altogether.
I was gonna say,
put him in a party.
Brother Travis,
get the strap.
Brother Travis.
I was gonna say that the entertainment capital is America. It's the United States of America, and we've seen a few British acts, music artists go over there, and actors as well go over there and make a real name for themselves.
Actors are killing it,
and comedians.
British actors are killing it.
Junior Asher is there now, man.
But this is my thing: is do you see yourself going there, or do you think that Mo should go over there to try a thing and to see what?
I think it's there. It's there to be taken. The black.
Man just talked about himself being the best. You bring up Mo again.
No, but we.
Mo ain't here, man. He gets on the podcast. We don't respect him, Mo. Go on, say what you're saying, bro.
It's love for everybody, innit? Shout out Mo anyway. But no, it's there to be taken. Especially the black British male voice in the States. They've literally had no one that they've championed
because they love us.
But they've had no one. Who have they championed? Black British.
I'm talking about that. What's that girl from that chewing gum?
No, I said a black British man stand up.
Okay, a man stand up.
We've not seen that. That spot is
he
vacant.
said male. He was quite.
I thought you were talking about just blacks in general because I know they championed that chewing gum girl. They went mad over her.
Yeah, no actors.
I forget her name. Is it Michaela Cole?
It's a great time.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but no. But what I've said is that with musicians and with actors, it's happened, innit? So we can pick on a number of different actors, innit, and the different musicians. You know, Estelle, going back to so many others. You understand? But comedians, it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
You get me?
I still think at the moment the one that I see most in America is Jeannie Asher. That's the one.
But Jeannie Asher has been there. She's doing a little bit, and that's one name. You get me? I haven't really seen her open the doors for other people. I think the difference is,
and I'll tell you what I think.
And also, comedy goes into acting and goes into different things.
Can I throw my 2 pence in way? I think as a musician, you can kind of get by doing bits and bobs, whichever country you are, if you're brave enough to just jump ship. And the same as an actor, if you can get some roles. I think as a comedian, from what I hear from the American comedians, is the grind is so hard. I don't know what it's like here, but it's just you're grinding. You have to have a second job. I think some musicians, they don't have a second job. They can do music and get by. You can do acting and get by, get the odd bit part here and there. I think we even know people. Yeah, they do bit parts here and there and they get by. Comedians, I don't think you can't live on just being the hustler from to do your show every couple of times or 3 or 4 times a night. I
think it depends.
Your stand-up thing.
I think it depends.
You need to make it.
I think it depends on the level that you go in. So let's say, for example, that Travis builds up his his profile to such a level that now he can go over there. He gets a good agent and he's making a good amount of money over there. You know what I mean?
Okay, but which black British comedian
if you go over there cold,
at the level now?
Yeah, but if you go over there cold, then that's obviously.
But my point is, the people that go to America now, the ones that are big in music and the ones that are big in film, didn't have to build up anything.
Yeah, but I'm saying that
they were just there.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't have seen that.
No. You're misunderstanding me. You would be at the same level. Who's the one that was in the British guy that was in the Marvel film recently.
Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah.
I would put him on the same level as you a few years ago. Right?
Okay.
What he was a few years ago.
Before Get Out.
Before
Okay.
Black Mirror.
Okay.
He was acting, doing his bit parts. Yeah, Black Mirror is the time where he was the person that
He was in Skins as well.
Okay, all right, maybe I'll pick somebody else. But the point is, there's a few of them that they were doing bit parts. The same way a comedian will go and do his show, he will go to this play and that play and this place and that place, and I'll call that bit parts. Not to sound disrespectful, but that's what you're doing. They didn't have to make it to go to America to audition for something and then bang, they've made it. You're saying they kind of need to make it a little
I see what
before
you're
they
saying.
move over there. And I'm saying the musicians and the actors don't need to do
I
that.
tell you who I thought was.
Yeah, I know that.
I tell you who
So
I thought
then-
was gonna make it at one point.
That's what I'm saying. That for a comedian, they can't just go over there and struggle like this, the way the musicians and the.
No, but you can though.
So
You can.
what does that mean that we can't get a British comedian
Okay, sorry,
over
no,
there?
Travis is disagreeing with me.
No.
So
yeah,
I want
no,
him. I want you say you're
You
the
can
expert.
absolutely go over there and just hustle your way through. You remember, like, novelty is what helps sometimes you to beat the normal cue.
Yeah.
Going over there as black and English is a major novelty because Americans are still backwards sometimes. They're like, oh, yeah, you have black people.
You ain't got to tell me.
You
bro.
got a whole lot of that to work with and be funny. Like when I did a show in Dominican Republic, I didn't go out there to do the show. I went there on a holiday, but they had a comedy show, and I was just like, right, I want a piece of that. So they had Wild and Out guys, so DC Young Fly and Rip Michaels and a few and Carlos Miller and another guy. So I'm out there. I'm just like, yo, can I do 5 minutes? And these guys like, yeah, cool. The promoter was real safe. He's like, yeah, come on, do that. But the Wild Night guys, when they came, you know what I'm saying, they got that American kind of attitude about it. So, you know, it was even a fuss just to even introduce me. Do you know what I mean? The guy was just like, yeah, you can go out and then, you know, you can introduce yourself and do your set. And then we'll come out. And I was like, right, like that. So
Fucking
and I'm thinking to myself, we waited for you to start this show as well. Like, I'm thinking, okay, cool. So I was like, you're not going to introduce me? He's like, no, I'm not going to introduce you. Like, he said it like proper, like matter of fact.
Disrespectful, bro.
So at this point, I'm getting like my South London energy is getting back up there. I'm like, all right, big man, don't worry about that, innit? So I'm getting up there and I'm about to go on. And then I'm going to the DJ. I'm like, he's late. He goes to me just before I go on his lead. The DJ's going to introduce you. He said he'll do it. So I'm like, big man, do you know what? At this point, I'm so ready to just go like to a cold crowd. Don't worry about the DJ because I don't want him to fluff up my name. I don't want him to do nothing dumb. He's obviously, you lot are moving kind of anti, innit?
Mm-hmm.
Then DJ Conspiracy from UK, he was out there and he goes, no, I'll introduce him, innit?
Yeah, we know.
So when he said that, I was thinking to myself, all right, bro, do it. And he went there and gassed me properly. So the crowd was hyped. So I come out, do my set, smashed it. I only had like 5 minutes or so, smashed it. And I was like, boom, left the stage. Then now they're showing a bit more like, all right, man, all right, London, yeah. I was like, cool, I hear you.
Just
But for me,
suck their mum, boy.
no, you know what? For me, I wasn't even on that thing because I know with stand-up, I know how I am with new comics, innit? Like if a new comic walks in with mad gusto, I'm looking at it, this guy thinking, all right, let's see him do his thing, innit? Then afterwards, I'll be
Same
like,
as that
nah,
tweet.
you know what? Big up. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, I know how the game goes.
You have to prove yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So for me, it was more of a test because everybody in the audience was American. So I'm looking at it now thinking, boom, my same material as is works in America. I know I'll do well out there.
So what are you saying? Is that an option?
It's definitely a plan. It's not. I'm definitely
That's
going
what
for
I'm
it.
talking
I
about.
think the one at the time, I thought the one person I thought was gonna go out there and maybe make it, and then just didn't get there was Richard Blackwood, man. There was a time when I thought Richard Blackwood might blow. He was like the Will Smith type.
He
thing.
could have, man. Good looking,
Yeah.
and
Very
charismatic.
He had his
Yeah,
own
he was
show.
funny.
At one point, Richard Blackwood show, and I thought, you know what, he might just go clear.
That's when the gates were open for me.
That's
He had
it.
the, he had the,
Then
because
I
he
don't
came
know
just
what
after
happened
the
to
Real
him,
McCoy and
man.
whatnot.
I don't know what happened to him. He just got pulled down. I think he went
They
bankrupt.
signed, so I interviewed him. I was talking to him about this and got the kind of. So basically, he signed with management out there, but he said America wasn't ready for a black British voice, so they didn't know how to market him. So he said, various opportunities and stuff coming up, but nothing was kind of sealed. So this is like taking up a lot of time now. So he's not even really working over here anymore. He's over there on hiatus, and I don't know how he was managing his money, but the tax bill came. And things were a bit crazy financially, and it all kind of just
American
doubled up.
tax system is different.
Yeah, so
It's a shame, man. I thought he was gonna go clear because I did see him as the British Will Smith. He was clean comedy. He wasn't too dirty. You know what I mean? He was good looking, as Steph said. People liked him. He was a likable person.
but people still like Richard Blackwood. That's the
Everybody
thing.
likes Richard Blackwood.
People
Even in the EastEnders, he still gets loved. You know what I mean?
what
But
I'm saying.
I don't know. I'm
South
still,
London boy, you get me?
I'm still hoping that he goes clear.
Croydon.
I'm still hoping it goes clear because he's not stopping
He's
his
put a
business.
tattoo on
It's
his
good
neck
to
now.
see.
It's too late for him.
Wow.
All right.
Criminality.
Flip me.
I don't date guys that have problems paying for dates, etc. They understand they're paying for my time. Only broke, crispy guys will have a problem with this statement. That was a tweet I saw today.
I know you'd see that tweet.
And I want to know what you guys think of that.
Sounds like an escort.
Hey, she's invoicing, innit?
That's the word I used.
Sounds like an escort.
You're invoicing.
No,
You're
no,
invoicing.
that's
After
exactly
the date,
what one of our boys said, isn't it?
That's what I said.
Was you in it?
No, he said it first. I'm gonna read out his response later. But I said the same word.
Yeah.
when you finish with that woman, you should invoice her, or she should send an invoice to you. That's what it sounds like, because she sounds like she's a business.
Paying for my time.
It sounds like you're a business.
Okay, I would like to say, Stavros here. I believe a man should pay for a date. I believe a man should pay for all the dates, all of them. I don't think you should split. I don't think it should be a conversation. I believe a man should pay. All right. Yet, what this woman is, because this was a woman on Twitter, she's still chatting rubbish. Because I don't pay for your time. Because, like Travis said, you sound like an escort. I pay because I believe that's part of my, that is my responsibility.
Responsibilities.
From when we come to the table, that's my responsibility. You have your own responsibilities during the dates and during a relationship, but that's not one of them. That's my responsibility. If you disagree, then that's cool. Then whatever we have, that's whatever. But that's my responsibility, not because I'm paying for your time. And even if I did kind of believe that kind of thing, me being the legend I am, who's paying for my time? Because it's not just I don't see no woman as being above from me. So what am I paying for you for? If anything, you should be paying me. I am Joe Blow, the lover man. You should be paying me. So I want my money then. Then we need to start splitting bill and all that rubbish. But really, we shouldn't split bill because I'm the legend and you're just a woman that's out of the legend. So you should really be paying for my time. So I don't like.
So you're invoicing.
Yes.
I never knew you was a harlot.
I'm gonna read
The harlot episode, man.
what one of our peoples said.
Read it in full. And then the last line, his last sentence, just has to be a T-shirt, bro.
I need to find it now. All right. So in response to that tweet, I think that's the big issue. Girls who have a problem with guys who aren't willing to pay for their time. Those are the girls who probably wouldn't want to go on a date if it was for a walk down the Thames or to a museum or a gallery. Those are usually the girls that go on dates just for the free food or because the guy has offered to take them to a restaurant that they haven't been to or wouldn't go because they wouldn't spend their own money there. There's a lot to be said about girls who think like this. I've taken a lot of them on dates, fucked them, and Dutched them. I got sex for the price of dinner. Ditched them. Yes,
let him finish that line. Come on, man.
All right, bang them and ditch them. I got sex for the price of dinner. They got used in exchange for food.
Look at that. I got sex for the price of dinner.
That's a bar, man.
I got sex for the price of dinner and they got used for the price of food. That's mad.
Yeah, but they also got used him for the food.
Boy, when you look at it like that,
which one is heavier on the scale?
Which one do you need more?
Exactly.
Which one's heavier on the scale, bro?
Everyone needs to eat food.
Listen,
yeah, but that's the point. He's going to eat either way. He's not going to bang you either way. She's going to eat either way. He's going to eat either way.
Exactly.
Not everyone is guaranteed sex that night.
Some women are happy to be used for that process. Some men are quite happy to be used for that process too.
Yeah.
A lot of people realize that is the transaction nowadays. For some people, that is the transaction. For me, back to what I was saying a couple of weeks ago, I wouldn't want to be with any. I wouldn't even want to bang anybody that thinks like that.
Steak dinner gets you, some vagina. Steak dinner with lobster gives you some head.
That light gauchos.
yeah, exactly. He comes in. It depends on what layer. Nando's might get your foot rub. That's what you get in.
This conversation is always is odd to me. Like a good date has nothing to do with the location.
Yeah, it doesn't. But
Simple
people
as
see
that.
it like that though.
It's stupid though. Like people put value on how this person sees you because of what they're willing to spend. Me, I'm not out here flossing for no first date. Never in my life have
but
I
you're a
ever done
comedian
that.
though.
Nah, boy, listen. Even if I wasn't, same game plan.
Okay, but why wouldn't you then?
Why wouldn't I? Why do I need to part ways with money to see what you're about?
You don't have to. But why? This is my point. Why wouldn't you?
Like
if you're saying money's not the issue, then you have made the money the issue.
No. It's not that money is the issue. But if this is the topic of how much would you pay and how much are you paying and all this type of stuff, I'm like, listen, that is not my focus in the situation. Like, if I've liked to go, if I've liked to go, I've not thought about money. For me, it's about getting to know this girl.
Yeah, but Travis, you just said I wouldn't do something, so therefore you've made the money. You have included money into the equation. I would say money is not. It's not about money, and whether it's £1 or £1,000, I would do either one. No, because it is not about the money.
No.
From the minute I say I'm not spending,
I said I wouldn't floss and go mad on this date. I'm not doing £100, £200 date on the first date.
Why not?
Because that's a bad, that's stupid movements. Like if you're out here,
Why?
so I got to pay £200 to find out that you're boring.
You don't have to. But why wouldn't you? You haven't answered my question. Why is it stupid?
Because why would I gamble £200 to find out that me and you don't?
Okay,
so
but
it is about money.
It is about money.
But
it is about money.
There's a difference between what he's saying and what you're saying. Yeah, if I can speak for Stav, Stav's saying if I want to spend £200-300, that's because I want to do it. It's not because I have to do it because I'm dating you. It's because I actually want to do this thing. Yeah. Whereas you're saying, even if I wanted to do it, I'm not going to do it because I don't know why I'm spending £300 and £400 on you because it's a first date.
Because for me, I like to have that pre kind of like getting to know time where it's like, all right, cool, let's go out to a bar. Let's go out and I don't know, play pool, play table tennis.
You can go so far and spend £300.
Something that's well, you can, but that's basically what I'm saying. I ain't doing that.
I ain't doing that.
Nah, because if I can
do it, he's told you why. You just don't agree with it.
You're not seeing my side.
It doesn't resonate. It doesn't make sense. You said I wouldn't want to pay X amount on a date because that's.
I'm not taking someone to a massive high-end restaurant on the first time seeing you and spending time with you because that's just my own philosophy. I'm like, why am I gonna do that at this beginning of this early stage to get to know you?
Why am I making that big investment for something that I'm not necessarily?
I don't even know you like that.
So a date is an investment now.
Yeah, it must.
So I'm paying for your time. We just finished switching that. I'm not paying for your time.
However you want to look at it as an investment or paying for time, it is. I'm paying for this. If I'm paying for this meal and I'm spending £200, that doesn't seem like a smart decision for me.
I really don't. I'm lost for words.
In my head, it's like this. Yeah, I can completely understand. I can understand somebody saying I don't want to spend a lot of money on somebody I don't know. I get that, right?
Like that.
If you put it like that, I'm going to spend a lot of money on somebody I do not know. I don't know whether or not you're worth this money. I don't know whether or not I should be spending £200 on a person that's a horrible human being, which I could be doing. You could be a nice human being, but I don't want to take that gamble. So I'm going to spend £50, which I'm happy to spend with no problem, no issue. And if you're a horrible person, I'm not going to go back to my house saying, you know what, I spent £50 on this woman. It's not a big deal. Whereas if I went and spent £1,000 on this woman, like for this horrible human being, I spent £1,000 when I could have fed kids in Liberia.
And what Stav is basically saying is, if I want to spend £200 or £300, I will spend it on regardless of who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, I understand both sides.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I understand both sides.
But you don't understand.
No, I don't co-sign this. Oh, you might be a horrible person thing. Then that's just.
But why not? Yeah, but you don't want to spend money on somebody you don't like. I might not like you.
That's what I'm saying.
I do not like you. I go to meet you. We go on a date, and I actually do not like you. Okay. And I've spent all this money on somebody I don't like.
That is fine, but then you cannot say in the same sentence or in the same podcast that money is not the issue.
Okay,
because clearly it is.
Okay,
you can't say
that. I agree.
You cannot say
that.
You can't say them both.
It is an issue.
When I say money's not the issue, unless I cannot afford it, because I would say that everybody in this room can afford a £200 dinner. Whether they want to, whether it's going to bankrupt them or whatever, it's not going to bankrupt you. You could afford it. You wouldn't want to, but you can afford it. So it's not that we can't afford the dinner. It's what we.
So we just thank God that we can all afford that £200 dinner.
Okay.
Amen.
Yes. So it's not. It's not about the value of the dinner. It's about the value of the person you're taking to the dinner. And I'm saying it's not. Stavros, I'm saying it's not about the value of the person, and you are saying it is. Therefore, I'm putting a monetary value on you. Stroke this date. I am not.
I'm saying for me, if I'm gonna take someone out, that's someone who I'm kind of serious about. I'm invested in that way to just consider that as an option. You, who I don't know that well, like we're speaking for a little while, things might be cool. Let's meet up. Let's go out on a date. I'm not going to be blowing £200-300 because suppose that don't work. What, for the next girl, I've got to spend another £200-300.
No, you don't.
But I'm saying if that's what you're saying is that's what you want to do. There's a possibility you could be throwing away cash left, right, and center. That's not a smart way to behave.
It's not throwing away cash. You're getting to know this person, and
you're seeing it like this. I paid £200-300 to get to know this person, even if I find out that they're a bad person. I spent that money.
No, me.
No,
I'm not. I am not saying that.
So what the hell are you saying then?
That's what I'm saying.
I am saying, okay, let's split the money. I am actually splitting the money and the person stroke the date. Yeah, the date and the money is two different things. So the date and the money, the date and the woman, I'm trying to get to know you. Yes, we agreed on that. Yeah, that's the same thing. I want to get to know you. Can we move forward? That has got nothing to do with the money I'm spending on the date. Apart from if I think you're only there for the money. If I think you're there because it's a £300 dinner and that's the only reason you're there, then that's an issue. But I probably wouldn't go out with you in the first place. I would probably know that about you before I even take you on that dinner. Yeah. So that's the only time where it would be an issue. If I think, because I'm not trying to impress you either. That's the thing. So I'm not trying to impress you with the money.
What?
I'm
Okay, fair enough.
I'll put it this way. I've said it before on the podcast. I know you don't listen to the podcast. There is another podcast I listen to. It's called the Beige Phillips Show. I've stopped listening to it now. But one thing he said is he's come from the pimping realm. He was a male stripper, and he's got this thing about being.
Why do you stop listening to it?
Very. Because he repeats himself. A lot of the time.
Yeah.
Basically, I agreed with a lot of the stuff he said, and then,
Regurgitated.
yeah, and then so he's talking. He's helping men out, and I don't think I need that kind of help he's helping. But it was very interesting listening to it. But after a point, it's like, how many times am I going to hear you help people that aren't as legends like me?
I'm just saying that there's an irony in what I'm saying here.
Anyway, go on.
Okay, all right. Well, you explain it to me later then. So one of the things he said was when he goes out with a person, he said he's got a big car, he's got he wears lots of jewelry. He's a very flamboyant person. He knows he's flamboyant. And what he said is that when I go out by myself or with my friends or whatever, I go out and I have a fat juicy steak.
Yeah, steak.
That's what he says. I have a massive steak, and my steak costs whatever. I wear fancy clothes, I wear fancy shoes. So if you're coming on a date with me, should I buy you a burger while I eat my steak? He said, no. If I'm eating a steak, you're eating a steak. You're beside me, so eat the steak that I'm eating. So I'll buy you a steak. I'll buy myself a steak. And that's how I see it as well. That one really resonated with me because when I have conversations with people like you that say what you said, I could never articulate it as well as he did. And it's like, if this is what I'm doing anyway, if I want to go and spend
have
X
a good time,
money's not. I just want to have the good time. So
regardless of who you're with.
If the money needs to be spent to have the good time, then so be it. It doesn't always have to be though.
Okay, so my response to that is, I don't frequent at places like gauchos just on a normal, just for the sake of it. If that was my normal, like how it is for him, if that's where I'm going to take it to eat, then yeah, that's where we're going to go. But because I don't frequent at these places like that, I'm not looking at gauchos as this, that's a normal little spot to walk in and get a good food on a Thursday. I'm looking at that as like, this is where I'm treating my girl tonight. So if I'm going to be doing that and putting you on that place on a first date, then no, I'm not looking at it as a thing where I'm just like, I'm going to downgrade you. No, I'm not downgrading you. I think this is worth Fernando's right now. And then we'll see what's going forward.
Okay, let's just say it like this. Let's have that conversation because that's not the conversation we necessarily have. You've had that same thing a couple of times. That's why I said it's ironic because you said you're not listening to the man because it's the same thing and you've been saying that same man thing for a while. But anyway, either way, all right.
But I did start off by saying that he hasn't heard me say.
Yeah, I know, but the rest of the public that does listen to us has heard you several times. But I'm just gonna go with that. Is a case where certain women worth a certain level of date.
No, well, Stavros, I should just leave myself out of this conversation because I don't think it's got anything to do with the woman.
Okay, let's do. You out then. You guys, do you think that women?
Hold on, sorry. First date. If you get to know the
first
person,
date or my girl.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about. Okay, even then.
It's different. It's different. Obviously, if your woman deserves
your woman,
everything.
But let's say dating. You're dating, yeah. Do they have to build up to get to a good date? Because you said, all right, about now you are worth Fernando's, yeah. How do we grade these women? How do we get to this point where you say, you're worth Fernando's? I think you're worth, maybe a million Carter. Maybe a harvester if you're gonna do, harvester breakfast, maybe brunch, something like that. How do we gauge this? Really, because women like to know these types of things. Like, how do I get from being harvester to TJ Fridays to maybe getting to Gaucho? Okay. How do you get to these levels?
See, alright. So let's just say, I'm not grading women like that.
Yeah,
that sounds mad the way you worded it.
Brother Travis, I'm just being
saying.
It's starting at Morley's, man.
Yeah. Get a triple M burger to start things off.
Man. Starting at Morley's or Dallas chicken.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you're saying it. I'm just going by what you said. I'm thinking, have a discussion about it.
It's just one of those things that over time, innit? Closer we get, the more things work out. Like, clearly, I'm seeing a future in this. Then I'll be you know what? Anything can go. But if it's a thing where I'm trying to see who you are as a person, why am I got to spend £300 to find out?
You don't.
I like conversational. Me personally, my thing is I like to like little moments where there's conversation, so I can see a bit more of your character. Not like I'm auditioning you to see if you're worth my money on a date. I like to see who I'm going to spend my time with. That's more valuable 100%. To me.
Every date's an audition for me, but
but not for money. Not for money. It's just audition for whether you should be with me.
Yeah, it's my wife.
It's an audition because then from there, if I look at you like that and I'm thinking, right, there's future in this, I'm going to be trying to go above and beyond as my nature to impress you.
I agree.
Yeah, what I would say is that
you're so different.
What I would say is that a lot is I think a lot of people value their time like I do. So if you are going to spend a date with someone or with me, then you are taking time out of my life, and
so you have to be.
You have to be a special individual to get that far. So it's not meet at Monday, date on Wednesday. No.
Stavros is that.
Yeah, well, that's
when
fine.
I was dating.
It's
that's a quick turn off,
for
bro.
me. It's conversations over the phone. It's
Thank
text
you.
messages.
See,
it's seeing how
that's what
you
I'm saying.
kind of, build your character over the telephone or over text messages, innit? So I'm not just going
Sound like
straight.
women, man.
Nah, it's not.
That's
it's
real
for
talk,
me.
but-
It's common sense, bruv. To me, it's common sense. So I'm not going to allow you to take my valuable time when you're an idiot.
See, I don't have that same mentality with the idiot and the time business, but I take ages before I take somebody out on a
And
date.
that's my thing.
Because I don't know whether or not I even want to see your face.
So Travis, you take a while as well.
Bruv, the conversations have to flow before I want to see you in real life.
So I'm in a room with 3 people that take a while before they go on that first date.
Yeah.
You get the number first,
and
innit?
me Stavros is the whole man that just go out on the date straight. But then I would have gone through 12 dates and found the right person whilst people still talking to the wrong person for 12 weeks.
You don't have to talk for them for a week.
But and how much money did you lose?
Good luck to you guys, man.
How much money did you spend in
But
that
the money's
process?
not the issue.
No,
Okay, but
big man.
all right. Even if that's the case,
Big man.
even if that's the case, let's say for instance, I'm gonna spend £100 per date, and you guys are gonna spend £10 per date. Just for instance, no shade on that like that. But and I've gone through 12 days and spent 1,200 one date a week. Let's make it 10 weeks actually. I'll spend £1,000. Yeah,
Okay.
10 weeks, 10 days, 1,000. You guys are talking to the same person for the same 10 weeks, and then you go on that first date and you spend £10. Maybe my 10th person was the person that was the right one, and I spent my £1,000 and I've got my diamond.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
blessed.
right.
See,
So
the thing
his investment was better than ours.
You
So
guys,
whilst your analogy is good, talking to somebody for 10 weeks without seeing them is just mad.
It can happen.
okay.
Nah, 10 weeks, nah.
It can happen, trust
That's
me.
a couple weeks, bruv. You're WhatsApping, you're talking in the evening. Like, you're
Bruv.
building enough.
Bruv.
Even a week, bruv.
10
It
weeks,
doesn't
bruv.
need to
Nah,
take
nah,
10 weeks.
But then I'm not
2 months.
I've done it with
months,
2 months
man.
before I went out with somebody. Blatantly done it because I don't want to see you unless I want to see
Yeah,
your
but
face.
how did
You
you
got-
not know by then that
No,
this
because
person
I might
wasn't
just be
worthy,
just chatting to
bruv?
them. It's got nothing to do with worthy.
Yeah,
It's whether or not I want to spend my time with you.
Yes, it is worthy
Nah,
then.
man, I need to decide whether or not I want to come out of my house.
Me.
Listen,
I don't like people, innit?
you got to remember, yeah?
I don't like human beings.
Also, what comes into it here is whether or not you're even looking for
Someone-
a relationship, trying to build a relationship. Sometimes man's out here and he's just on the jealous thing. He's
That's
just
what
trying to
I'm
smash
saying.
like a
Man,
couple
like,
things as quick as possible.
See, I was going to touch on that.
Someone was upset with me because I called you a social media Grinch. How can you call him a social media Grinch?
Who said
And you're no, not social media Grinch. It's a social Grinch. And you're saying now that you don't want to come out of your house, that you don't.
I don't
people.
like to be human beings. But with regards to what you were saying to a minute ago, yeah, that's the thing. Because let's talk for real. And I want to talk about men in general. Let's not just use us because
But we
we
can't
are.
talk for men in
Hold
general.
on. Let me finish talking, innit? You talk for yourself.
Oh yeah,
right?
sorrow now.
Right? So I want to talk for men in general and I want to talk to the people that we know and have discussions with, yeah? Let's be real, innit? Because I'm talking about the value and I was going about the Nando's and you go up levels and stuff like that. There is man that will start off at the top level with a woman, right?
then
So they
come
start off with the top level, so they'll take you to gauchos just to get the bang. And then they'll downgrade you after
Hold
the
on,
bang.
I haven't been to
exactly.
Gauchos. How much is a
Gauchos is a bit expensive.
Well,
It's not dramatically expensive. So a steak will cost you about £70-80.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah. So they might start off on a level that some people are not prepared to start on. Then
So
let me not
they
use
would
that word.
press you to get the
Yeah, to press you to get the
vagina.
money. I mean, to get the vagina. Oh, it's called vagina money, you know. To get the vagina, yeah, right. And then
Mad.
downgrade it.
You know where his mind is at.
Innit?
I then downgrade it because then they say, okay, well, I've slept with you now, so
I've
next,
beat,
next,
so-
next time we are going Nando's now, innit? Because I don't need to impress you anymore because I've done it to impress, yeah? How do you think about that? What do you think? Do you think you know people that's like that?
Yes.
What? That man that just try and beat and finesse
Yeah.
them?
And yeah, then
Listen,
after it
of
goes
course.
downgrade.
I have always said that men have some men out there, their game is so good. You get
Of
me?
course.
That they do whatever to get the naan bread, man. They'll do whatever it takes to get the pussy, man. They'll say whatever they need to say and they'll spend the money that they need to spend.
I don't think that's
Listen,
game. I
just-
think that's rubbish.
Yeah,
No,
but
no.
whatever you want
If
to
you have
call
to
it,
go out
bruv.
of your way to spend all
Bruv.
this money to just get vagina,
Yeah,
where
that-
next
I
man
think you're
can-
doing it wrong.
Call
You're
it-
doing it wrong. You're
Call
doing
it,
wrong.
call it whatever you want. Some men
It's an
speak
angle.
They're putting
sweet-
numbers on the board.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's what they care
don't
about.
care, bruv. They just want to get the bang. And some of them whisper sweet nothings and they'll say some wicked words just to get the money, bruv.
End of the day, yeah, I think everybody knows what their source is, innit? Certain man know they just need to send a picture of their face and boom, he's secured. Certain man got to go and do gauchos. That's how they finesse. Like, you know what your sauce is.
Yes.
And you tailor your approach to your sauce.
We like to deal with
that.
seasoning here.
Straight.
We like to deal with seasoning here. So we said that for you to, as a man, all-purpose seasoning is money in it. That's something that will always make the food taste good. Then you got your other seasonings, like, you know, if you want to add a little bit of maybe a bit of curry powder, that might just be, you know, you looking a bit flossy and whatever, blah, 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 and all of these different seasonings. But if you're just saying that you're coming straight at the back and the only thing you got is all purpose, so the only thing you got is money, I can't rate that.
Can I just...
You say that, but certain man, that's their move.
Salt Bae, man.
And certain women love that, and they look
you
for
go.
a man that wants money, and they don't give a shit.
lot of women. Can I just take a moment out to curse and spin devil upon all men that tell a woman, I love you, just to get none.
Oh, man.
Them man need to be
they-
sent to
They're doing it
the
wrong.
7 levels of hell, man, because that's cold, man. I mean, you can play,
doing
you
it.
can be a player, but you can't do
what
that.
about the man that
You
said,
can't do
what about the man
That's
that
Eddie
make
Murphy
a
Boomerang
woman,
business,
a woman
isn't it?
fall in
One
love
time.
with them, they make a woman fall in love with them just for the sex and then after leave them. What we said about these types of men then?
Listen,
I think they're doing the right thing.
To be honest, yeah, as long as they haven't done
because,
it.
because
Wow, Mr. Jesus!
no, because they're doing the right thing. Because if they stay, it's even worse. You don't want to drag the relationship along.
So you make the woman feel like you love her,
no,
and then you leave her.
Well,
no. You said you make the woman fall for you.
I said fall in love with you.
Yeah, not that you love her. That
No,
she falls
that's
for
what I
you.
said. That she falls in love with you, and then you bag her.
No, but-
then you make her do it.
Can I?
Are you
have to-
making her? Are you making her
Are you-
fall in love, or is it
Thank
the
you.
digmatizing?
No, you're making her fall in love for you. You know you're doing it. You know it's happening.
Listen,
Mr. Wolf has done it, you know. Mr. Wolf has done it.
I haven't done it.
Going to the point where they wanted to give him a ring, and they said,
No.
Listen,
I don't
yeah,
think we
I
should
haven't done
continue this
listen.
relationship.
The facts are simple. As long as you've not lied about anything up to this point, you're not at fault. Your insurance is clean.
Your insurance is clean. You have no
insurance
points
is
on your
clean.
license.
Trust me,
See,
no points.
I agree that if you don't lie to a woman and you are quite honest and you can see that she's falling in love with you.
Watch what you're saying.
Hold on. And you're quite honest and you can see that she's falling in love with you, and you know have said to her, "Do not fall in love with me," and she continues, and you have sex with her. I believe that there is not as much fault as another man that does.
And-
but I still think that if you can see that she's falling in love with you, and you know that she is, and you
And
know
you
she's gonna
stay.
get mashed up, just leave her alone.
That's what that's where I'm coming from when I said that you're doing the right thing. Because at the point of meeting up, and there's some men and there's some women, they know what they want. They're using each other for sex in it, and you both come with the rhetoric. Listen, this is
Mind
just
the
for
pun there,
us.
man. Mind the
We
pun.
are doing our thing, and let's just leave it at that. I'm not into a relationship. You're not into a relationship. Nice, but sometimes the dick is so good, and sometimes the guys think the pussy's so wet and beautiful, and they fall in love as well. So there are times when a woman or a man their emotions will get the better of them, and they may fall in love. And at that time, it is the right thing to do to step away.
I would say, Stavros, now that I've been in the situation. Now I just cursed and sent to hell people that tell a woman they love you to get whatever the virgin. But because of my ego, the way my ego's set up, I like women falling for me. I like the attention. So I have done it where being super honest, I've seen women like very get into me. I don't know when it turns from getting into me to turning in love, but yeah, I've done that. And the thing that I would agree with Travis, or the bit where you would have a leg to stand on in the conversation that we came from about the dating and stuff, and about how much you would spend and the type of effort you put in, because I put the effort in from, or what may be seemed as effort in from the beginning. I know that there are times when you can be casual with a person, openly casual with a person, not hiding that, and both of you know you're casual, but because you're putting in what they see as supreme clientele effort, oh, this person must like me, and then they start to grow feelings.
right.
That is when I've gone down that road where it's like, and then they've got vexed at me because it's like, well, why did you do X, Y, and Z? I said, because I wanted to do X, Y, and Z. It's like, no, clearly you were telling me something.
Yeah,
you were
women-
telling me.
women look
you
between
were-
some
you-
lies that
you were
don't happen,
You
man.
were telling me something. I'm like, I wasn't telling you it. What were the words that come out of my mouth? Yeah, you said this, but then why did you take me there? Why did you have sex with me like that?
That's what I was about to say. You know, right? There's a common tweet
Well,
going
that's
around.
how I have sex.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's a common tweet going around. Yeah, there's a common tweet going around where a woman says something like, I don't know, I'm on my period, or I want you to come with me.
That's okay.
And the man,
That's okay.
Ain't no problem.
Right?
And these women, in those situations, obviously, these are things that the women are saying that the women are obviously in the beginning tweet are saying that these are things that I would expect somebody that's special towards me would do. You wouldn't mess with me on my period unless you was my partner or something like that. Or you wouldn't come inside me unless you wanted to get me pregnant. Like that type of stuff. I know the man saying, I ain't got no problem. That is most man them, you know. Yeah. And it doesn't mean anything. It don't mean that they like you more. It just means that they want to bang. That's all they want to do at that time. Ain't no problem.
Yes.
But there's no problem. You could say to them, at the time when they want to bang, you could say to a man, you know what? After we have sex together, I really wanted to give me a ring and we get married. And if the man wants to have sex at that time, it will tell you, it's no problem. You know what I mean? It means nothing to them.
No, before we have sex, I just wanted to let you know that in my previous life, I was a serial killer and my cat is my mother. It's no problem. It's no problem.
Nah.
It's no problem.
Yeah, it's like. So what people need to understand, or let me say, what some women need to understand is that some of the things that what Steph's saying, and I know what he's saying as well. And this is where the money thing maybe does come into play, as he says that if they see you make what they feel is a lot of effort to woo them, then that means that level of effort that they think is equates to a certain level of how much you like them. So you spent this £300 on me. That must mean you like me £300 worth of like. That means you must like me a lot. You know what I mean? Whereas if you took me to the park and is attentive, that also means you like me a lot. But if you just took me outside on the street and they said, you know, we're going to have a fag together and have a chat, you're going to be like, oh, you just don't care about me.
Okay, just a quick question to Stavros then, based on what you're saying. Do you think that you're sending out the right message? But to you, money is not an option, innit? So you're spending all this money because
within my realms. I'm not rich on that.
Yeah. But you're spending, let's say, like 200 quid or 250 quid. That's not gonna ruin your bank account on a woman that you're spending a date with because you want to. Okay. But women, well, I wouldn't say women. Most people do not have that type of mindset. So do you think that you're sending out the right kind of message? Do you not think that the woman is going to feel like what Wahala said? Wow, he's spending 250
She can feel what she wants. It's not about what she feels, it's about what I feel. Because when she doesn't get date number 2, which happened a lot, and women is like, why are we not going out no more? Because you didn't make the cut. And that's it. It doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter what she feels.
All right.
It doesn't matter what she feels. Because she's going to like me either. It wouldn't matter where I take her. She's going to like me either way. So it doesn't really matter.
You know what? It's madness. It's a madness where we're talking about this, yeah? And I'm going to touch on it. I know you watch it. Love Island, yeah? Right?
Well, make it quick.
Make it amazing show.
You know what I'm saying? Is because last week there was one girl that was having a chat with a guy.
Do you want to talk about the Hulk Hogan? Because this is the last thing we have to talk about.
Okay, we get to Hulk Hogan. We can't
get to Hulk Hogan. You can talk about your Love Island, or you
can
talk about your Hulk Hogan.
It's linked to the same thing we're talking about. Why are you stopping me, man?
I'm just saying. Once it's done, it's done. That's all. I'm just saying.
It's like we're wasting time with this discussion now, though. All right, so there was a girl. No problem. Look at no problem. No problem. Right, this girl was trying to a man for not even a day, a couple of hours. Yeah, there was 2 girls that came in, 2 new girls. This guy split up with one other girl to talk to one of these 2 new girls. He picked one of the other girls, chatted to her for a couple of hours, chatted to the other girl for a couple of hours, ended up kissing the other girl. Yeah, right. The 2 girls. Yeah, did that make sense?
Do you know their names?
White girls. So then basically, in the end, one of them decided, he decided that he liked the other girl, kissed that one, and then the next day he told his man that he kissed the girl, and then they went round the house. The girl that he was talking to for a couple of hours took it upon herself to start cussing the man down.
Oh, this is Jack. Yeah.
Did you see the thing?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, how easy it is for people, especially girls, to equate that this means this. Like, you chatted to me for a few hours, so that means you've invested yourself in me. You must now like me.
And that's what I'm saying. He said that it doesn't care what the woman thinks, and that's you got to have a little bit of feeling.
Okay, maybe I was being flippant, but end of the day, I didn't.
And also, some of these girls, listen, bro. You start going in hard at the beginning, they're not gonna respect you, bro. Simple, like, listen, it's mad, but
you don't care,
the game is mad. But as you experience stuff, you grow up, you find out that being a savage in some ways is way more successful than being this nice guy.
I would like to say, hold on, nice guy. This is the point. I think there's too many connotations coming.
He's not a nice guy.
Coming across with.
I want to say this because he spends money, he makes you a nice guy.
No.
I'm just saying. I don't want it to come across like I spend money on every single date I go on, because I don't. Because I'm just saying it don't bother me to spend that money. So it might be 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 7.
I hear what you're saying.
But when it does happen, or if it happens, then it happens, isn't it?
Okay. All right. So we're going to get into the Hulk Hogan.
No, I told you that's.
So that little 5 seconds is what you're gonna say?
That's what you get for talking about.
I'm talking about Hulk Hogan. I'm gonna talk about.
Hey, hold on.
That's
Love
what you get for
Island.
talking about Love Island.
What's
3
this,
weeks
what's
in
this
a row,
rhetoric
bro.
about Love Island, bruv?
I don't respect, especially black men that watch Love Island.
Fam,
Yeah. You are
Listen,
different. You
listen.
are beta men to me. Yeah,
Listen,
you're beta men.
fam,
unless
listen. Look me in the eye when you're saying that, because you're saying that with mad gusto, bro.
Unless you've messed up with your missus, yeah.
Nah, not even,
and she's
bro.
making you
Not
sit there and watch it
even.
with her because
Listen.
you're in the doghouse.
Listen, yeah. People want to be woke and educated and full time. Just like, raw, I can't even enjoy this because it's so mind numbing.
Nah,
It's great friggin' entertainment, and that's it.
You know what? Love Island is good, man. I tried to stay away from it, and then I saw something happen. I said, "Nah, bruv, what's going on there?" And
It's
started
like
watching
crack,
it.
man.
But I don't want to get into that. I want to quickly talk about this Hulk Hogan thing, man.
Okay, all right. I'll
Man,
take
try.
what I said about Love Island.
Yeah,
I'm only joking.
take that back.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm only joking.
that's right.
I don't watch it because
Love Island is like the modern day Sunset Beach.
In a way,
Yeah. The thing is, because I haven't seen it, I know if I was to watch a few episodes,
Yeah,
I'll
fuck it, innit?
probably get into
It's
it
too late
like
for you, bro.
everybody
It's
else.
too late. It's too late.
No, I don't want to.
Fuck
watch
a
it.
Live Island, man.
Okay, hold on. Let's get into the Hulk Hogan thing.
All right, Hulk Hogan has been reinstated into the WWE Hall of Fame after 3 years. He was kicked out because there was a recording going around of him using the N-word.
Do you remember what he was talking about?
And saying that no, because I think it's different. I think there were more than one.
That's what I'm saying. Hulk Hogan been known to be calling you the N-word.
There was one where he said that I've used the word, because the one where I heard him say it, I mean, as much as he shouldn't say it, he said that, oh, I use it with my black friends, you know, I use the N-word, and you know, we're cool. So they allow me to say it. I've heard him say that, but there's another one going around where he says, I'm a racist, I use the N-word. Like, he literally said that, I'm a racist, I use the N-word. But I haven't heard it, but I've read the
He was
the
one where he was
transcript.
talking to one woman and she's like, "You've been effing them the N-words, blah 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 blah." He's mad. He did a madness. Anyway, he got kicked out of the WWE.
He got kicked
yeah?
out. He got brought back in.
So
because he's played his penance. He's done apologies. He's done all this kind of stuff. Like he's done work experience. What's that stuff like?
Community service.
Not even real community service, because he didn't get like done for anything. But yes, he was going out of his way to do stuff like that to show I'm sorry.
Yeah,
blah,
but
blah, blah.
do you think that as a black wrestler, what would you say if they brought him back in the Hall of Fame and you're there wrestling there?
I ain't touching him.
I say, bun this situation, man. Like, end of the day, this is the WWE just saying Black lives don't matter, cuz, like,
It don't matter anyway.
it don't matter to us. Like, yeah, cool, we did that for show, but come back in.
WWE, no lives matter.
Yeah, they don't care.
They
about
don't care
anyone.
about
No. But I hear what you're saying, but they're basically letting it know this racism stuff. That's not our
Well,
business. We
there's
don't play
meant
like
to be
that.
like an undercoat of racism in WWE.
What do you mean that no one lives
Because-
matter in
Yeah, I don't
WWE?
understand what that was.
No, in wrestling, they don't care about any of you.
You are cattle.
They don't care about any of
You're
you.
cattle.
I hear that, but if we're talking about the boardroom,
yeah, so you are cattle. That's fair enough.
So
but
they don't care about black man, woman. It's not
But
sexist.
black man is
I'm
at the
using
bottom
you
of
for,
the cow.
I'm using you for
Yeah,
money.
yeah, where they were at the bottom. Well, they had
Black man
Virgil.
at the bottom
They had
of the
Virgil,
cow.
who was a slave in wrestling.
what
That's
I'm
all you need to
saying.
know. Virgil was a slave, actual slave. But yeah. So a lot of the black wrestlers always talk about the fact that they didn't have the opportunity to become the champion.
Yeah.
There's not many black champions. The Rock is probably the
main
black
one.
champion.
The
And
only
even
one.
then, they said that he's, what do they call it? Racial ambiguity.
racially ambiguous. Yeah. Because
They don't know what the Rock is.
He don't claim anything.
But he's half black though, because his dad
Yeah.
is blatantly black, and his dad was a wrestler.
And his
Yeah.
mum Samoan.
And his mom's
Samoan,
Samoan,
yeah,
which
but-
I thought like I said, that's Asian black.
But you know what a man. But you know the man that don't claim anything though. They just are.
He's just the Rock.
Yeah, it's
He
just-
doesn't say I'm
that's
black
it.
Rock.
He says who his dad is. He doesn't hide his dad if it comes up.
If it comes
Yeah,
up,
but you
what I'm
ask
saying
him what
is-
he is, he don't go say I'm a black man.
That's
I'm
what
the Black
saying.
Rock.
But does anybody ask him?
People ask the Rock.
No, but you
Do
know
you-
what?
okay,
You know
do
what?
you-
You know what that means, man.
I
And he
no,
claims he's Samoan side a lot more than the you know he's Samoan. You know that.
Yeah, 100%.
The thing with me is all right. I'll let you guys
It's
continue
better for
because we ain't got much time.
It's better for your marketing to be racially ambiguous.
Yeah.
So
he can play any man.
If that's what's important to you, then that's what's important.
He
to
could
you.
play. He could play a Latina.
Okay, let's put it this way. One of my boys, that actor is an actor. If he was to go down a road where he's not racially ambiguous, he's a black man. He's black. Yeah, he's a fake dread, but he's a black man. So if it got to the point where he was lighter and he was racially ambiguous, and he came to the table and told him, "Listen, I'm just gonna omit the fact that I'm Nigerian and I'm not gonna renounce it, but I'm not saying nothing. I'm gonna do a rock. Yeah, if they ask me, I'll tell them, and I'll tell them how proud I am of my heritage, but I'm never gonna put it on my chest, kind of thing. If he said I'm gonna do that, and I think that's gonna help my career, I like, so be it, because I know him. I know him. That is the definition of a sellout, though, isn't it?
But I don't know. I
think that you should have your history and everything about you on your chest. I don't think that you should hide it. I know what
including
you're
if
saying.
you're racist, like the Hulk Hogan.
No, we're talking about your racial background.
On who you are.
Yeah? On who you are. So if you do have black in your family and that is a part of who you are, I'm not on this thing unless they ask me, then I'm going to say something. Sometimes you got to be openly proud. And the problem as black people generally, well, I wouldn't say black people, but there are some black people who are not proud to be black. They're just black by default. Okay, I'm black. Okay. You know what I mean? I am a proud black man and I will let people know it. Okay. And the issue we have is that there's not enough of us in that kind of entertainment realm or the people in higher places who openly say that.
So what do you think about this? Are they making a statement by letting this man back in?
Yes, of course they're making a statement.
Yeah,
That's right. Big
because
statement.
black lives don't matter.
They're saying they don't care.
They do what they want. He was always going to come back anyway. So
He's the biggest wrestling star ever. Bigger than The Rock.
Yeah, because when they did it, I don't know about The Rock.
Of course he is.
When they did it,
I don't think
so.
I don't know about The Rock.
Of course he is.
No,
Hulk Hogan was an icon of wrestling. Yes. But then The Rock that's outshining.
What is
him.
that?
Rock
Said?
did
He's
a
the biggest
madness.
wrestling star ever.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Who? The rest? Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. How is he the biggest ever?
This is why you know he's 30.
No.
But there was a
But
time, but he said
can't
that.
co-sign
He said that. He said that. But
Nah.
there was one time that Ultimate
can't
Warrior was
co-sign
bigger than
that.
Hulk.
Yeah,
There was
but
a time when Ultimate Warrior, everybody had face paint, was wanting to be Ultimate Warrior.
Exactly.
I hear,
Right?
I hear,
So
what,
Ultimate
I hear what
Warrior
Stavros is saying.
was not bigger than the Hulk.
The
Yes.
icon,
Hulk
the
Hogan,
icon
the
of,
American icon.
Yes,
Yes,
but
yes.
there was a time when Ultimate Warrior was bigger than the Hulk.
yes, we know.
He
I
said
know.
no. He said no.
For like a minute.
I
Or
understand,
or one WrestleMania or
It
something.
wasn't a minute, bruv.
Let's not argue about WWE that I don't even watch anymore.
Exactly. So sit down. Stay your
That's what
lane.
I'm saying. Let's not talk about who the Ultimate Warrior even. I understand what you're saying about Hulk Hogan, but the idea of him being the biggest ever is more on history. I think that we touched on this a little bit on Prince and Michael Jackson. You understand that Michael Jackson is an icon of pop. It doesn't make him the best. Hulk Hogan is the icon. Everybody knows and remembers him, but he wasn't the biggest.
He was the biggest. Outside of wrestling, then talk all you want. But then
Do you know,
but
but you know what? You say the Hulk Hogan, but when they actually talk about wrestling and they say who's the most iconic wrestler, they actually say he's the Undertaker.
I was going to mention that actually.
They actually say it's the Undertaker.
Undertaker and Stone Cold.
No, just the Undertaker.
because he's been around for so long.
They say the Undertaker is the biggest icon of wrestling that there is.
Because for
ever.
so many WrestleManias, he was there doing the thing. But I
But
think
anyway.
that, like I said,
We kinda-
barely got any time. You wanted to talk about Hulk Hogan, and for some reason, like you think people care about blacks.
I just wanted to, because when they actually originally removed him, I thought that was a massive stake. I was like, wow, I can't believe that the wrestling actually went in and did this. That's big. That's fantastic. Right, maybe we're getting somewhere in the entertainment field for us to see something. And then the bastards put him back in. I was like, oh, okay, you really didn't care then. You cared for like three years.
That was for show, man.
It was proper for sure. But even if it was for show, keep that show. Don't bring it back in.
Keep
You
that
could have
same
said
energy.
you could have said to him, you know what, you know you're still in the Hall of Fame.
I'm interested in what actually makes any difference to their bottom line.
But the Hall of Fame is probably because they had to remove all of the Hulk Hogan merchandise. They removed all of the Hulk Hogan media from their TV thing. It was costing them money to do this.
So maybe it's just a financial thing.
It could be, but they still let him in. That's what he said.
It's like what's his name, Vince McMahon. Yeah, he is associated with Donald Trump, innit? They're all Republicans, innit? So the whole idea of white supremacy, man. It's all,
But if you're rich, you should be a Republican, anyways.
Yeah, whatever,
If you're rich
man.
in America, you should be a Republican because that's who's
No.
got your back.
It benefits
No.
you.
If you care about your money,
No, and that's what I'm saying. Not everybody's just I care about my money.
Well,
Some
them
people,
people that
some,
most
rich
some
people are.
rich
most
people,
billionaires,
some rich people do care about other people
True.
below
I'll
them,
take-
other
yes,
than
I'll
their
take-
money.
I'll take that you got your Buffetts and your even.
Yeah, but they're so rich. That's why they can care about other people.
And good for them.
If they wasn't so rich, they wouldn't care about.
But
other people.
they are, and they care for other people.
I don't
other
know.
than
I don't
themselves.
believe that anyway. I still don't think you should trust them.
Who? Republicans?
No, there's rich people like Buffett and Bill Gates and all them man there.
Bill Gates, there's them things that he does in Africa for the Bill and Melissa Gates Foundation. That's Bill and his wife. They go around basically. They've got their pledge to give away, I think, like 99.something% of their money. Obviously, they're billionaires, multi-billionaires. Bill Gates, I think, is like second or third richest person in the world, and he's pledged to give away all his money, but not just to give it away. He does it with a lot of health stuff. and education things. But you'll go into Africa and they'll be given
Vaccination.
Yeah, vaccination. A lot of stuff. So people are very suspect on what's in all these vaccines
Man,
that
can't be
you're
trusted.
going around.
Suspect.
You're
You
going
cannot
around
trust
always
those type of
vaccines. They think they're doing that. I can't
Euthanasia.
remember the word. Yeah. Is that the correct word? I don't know.
Euthanasia.
That's what they
know.
kill them,
Euthanasia
innit?
when they
Suicide thing.
No, that's assisted suicide. That's
Yeah.
not.
That's not
No, it's the other one. But
Bloody hell.
it sounds. That's why I said it's similar.
Genocide, sorry.
No, Negro, no. It's a word that sounds like it. As soon as we stop recording, I'm going to get the word.
It's like the Chinese and their involvement in Africa.
Oh, boy.
That's different, man. That's
No,
not
because-
blatant.
Yeah, that's right. It
We
is
are here
blatant.
to use you.
But also, Akon, he's backed by Chinese.
Yeah,
And
we
everyone's
are.
celebrating everyone's celebrating Akon's move. I'm just like, big man, this is just Chinese coming with a mask.
You use your black face.
That's it.
and the frustrating thing is, aside from
that was Wahala, by the way, before all the people that want to get us with that.
the frustrating thing is that there are some serious black people with some serious money that are big time billionaires, whether you're Adebayo, Ogunlesi, who used to own Gatwick, who owns the London City Airport. He's a big player out here. And then you've got Dangote. There are some serious billionaires out here that should be backing Akon, not the flipping. Sorry, I'll take that back. Not the Chinaman.
Sorry, but them men are coming in. Them men are coming in to root the Africa from the inside out.
Yeah, this is
Just like in Jamaica.
Yeah,
they're in there.
the Caribbean as well.
Their land is not that big, and there's a billion of them. It's like we need to spread out.
Yeah.
This is a nice, it's got resources, it's got heat. Yeah, let's take over.
You know
And
what I'm
they're
trying to-
keeping it away.
You can, if you get like sentenced to jail, you have a choice of going to jail or going to Africa to do work.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
I did not know that. There's so much I don't know about these places.
So they-
You know,
I know
facial
now you can't
rec-
even buy iPhone there.
facial recognition, like the stuff is real in China now. If you jaywalk in China, they'll get your face on camera and put it up on a screen, like screens like in Leicester Square. They put it up on the screen, and it's like such as because they know your name. So Big Wahala was jaywalking on this road, face up on the screen. And they have a credit system score there, just like in Black Mirror. They have a credit score, and they'll knock you down your credit score.
Like a speed camera.
Yeah.
Like-
Can you imagine if you were banking? Imagine.
So that will raise your insurance. It'll make it harder for you to get
What
a
film
house.
is that?
It'll make it's Black Mirror.
Can you imagine if they did that with sex?
That episode of Black Mirror? I'm sorry if I'm spoiling it for you, but basically,
Don't say it then. Don't say
no,
it.
because it's not a spoiler thing. It's not. That's the premise of the program. You don't know. I'm not telling you the story of the program. The premise of it is that everybody has a social score. That's it. It's not a big deal, and everybody that you come into contact with can rate you. They have your system.
What's the film with Simon Phoenix?
That's
Demolition Man. Similar.
But can
thing.
you imagine if you had that type of
that is
score
already
and they did that with
applicable in
banging?
China?
Someone so banged yesterday. You are now on screen.
You get caught cheating. You get caught cheating left,
Yeah,
right,
boy.
center.
You rang on screen yesterday. Any man else
The
know
black
this
men
man?
don't cheat.
Yes, we don't. We already
I'm
established
talking
that.
about the other Filipinos and the
Yeah.
Latinos.
All right. On that note, on that note, we will end. We will do our church notes and our goodbyes. We'll start off with Big Wahala.
Yo, at Big Wahala on Insta, at Big Wahala on Twitter. Check out me on that. And again, big up One Stop Dreadlock. For all your dreadlock needs, come down to One Stop Dreadlock and they'll sort you out.
Talking about One Stop Dreadlock, on one of your podcasts, Travis, which is called...
Cool name for a podcast.
A few episodes ago, you were talking about hair and how man can grow beard. Very cool.
That wasn't me. That was Issa.
No, but
By the way, yeah.
but it was the conversation.
Yeah.
So, but you were part of the conversation.
I was a part of the
He
conversation.
already distanced himself from that
you know what it was?
When I say you were talking about it, I mean that you were having a conversation on the podcast, not you.
Oh, okay, because I know I don't have no beard in it, so I thought you was going to stick it on me like
He was
that.
distancing it, boy.
No.
He was ready to
Okay,
divert
yeah.
the conversation.
I'm just saying, we record in One Stop Dreadlock. I have a luxurious beard too, and what your co-host was talking about shampooing. Sorry, well, you mentioned conditioning, but I also you shampoo your hair, your beard hair. He said most men don't do it. He said you would be surprised how many men don't do this. I'm not surprised. Most men don't shampoo their hair. Why would they do that? So, but if you do that with your beard, it does make a difference. And there's also, he was talking about the oils.
Yeah.
If you are a man and you would like to have a luxurious beard, there are oils here in One Stop Dreadlock right in front of me that is there for men to enhance the beard growth.
I did see my mother give it to one of the grandchildren
Yes.
the other day. She gave him the oils.
So,
And I said, is it? You didn't give me these oils.
If you because you're Law Schools,
Yeah, I know,
Law
man.
Schools. So if you are
I'm-
one of these men
My
that
bed is not coming at all.
well,
Yeah,
the,
that was mine.
the oils are here. When this store is open, you can purchase one. We're not giving one as a special guest. You have to come and buy it. You know? So,
Hurry up and buy
but
it.
these
Cheers.
are,
Cheers for
right on this shelf here, this bottom shelf. These
Thank
are the oils that will help you out and get the luxurious beard,
Okay.
a la Stavros Boss. So, Mr. Wolf, do you want to say your thing?
I know who you remind me of now.
Who?
Keelan Ivory Waynes.
Keenan Ivory Waynes.
Yeah, it's the moustache, bruv. And I'm gonna get you sucker, man.
He's the oldest.
He's
Waynes.
the older
I
one.
said Keenan Wayne.
Yeah, the
Not
older
not
one.
the younger Waynes, the
No,
older
no,
Waynes.
You don't even
older
know what he
one.
looks like. He's gonna
He
Google
know-
it
he
first.
knows-
No, I need to see the face again, innit?
It's the moustache, bruv.
He's the oldest one. The oldest one.
Man said Keenan Waynes. Nah, do you know what? Keenan Waynes is not a bad guy. He's
a
whatever.
legend,
I
bruv.
kind of see his
He's
point.
a legend, trust me. But
I'm now looking to look at him as well because I kind of agree with him now when I was thinking about it.
AKA Mr. Wolf on Insta, AKA _ Mr. Wolf on Twitter. And yeah, man, have a blessed week. Enjoy the weather. It's been great. And let's hope it continues all the way through to the end of September. Fingers crossed.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay. This week on Stavros Says, the section where Stavros recommends something is going to be Anchor again, but it's a different kind of Anchor. This time it's Anchor, the electronics company. It's spelled ANKER.
They're badass.
Yeah, it's a bunch of ex-Apple employees. They went off and started their own little business making, what did they make? Like chargers, portable chargers. They make
Peripherals.
yes. Say the word because I can't say the word.
Peripherals.
Yes, for those of you that know what that is, things you plug into other things. Yeah, so they make cases, they make mobile phone chargers, they even make projectors and stuff. But their stuff is reasonably priced and very high quality. So they sell mostly basically through Amazon. Amazon wholesale. I get a lot of my stuff there. But anything that you need for your phone, yeah, Anchor products, they do a good job. The cables, the chargers, all that stuff. So I'm just letting you know, because don't buy cheap stuff and it just break up on you or burn your house down.
Well, like when you tried to do what you wanted. Anyway, Karen.
Those portable chargers, bruv.
I got them from China.
Numerous
You
people
got
have
them
said
from China as well.
Not numerous. How many is numerous?
I know about 3 people that said it.
Travis, I want to. All right, to stick with my balling theme. When I got married, I wanted to give away good favors because I've never been a fan of just take. I don't want stuff just for the sake of having stuff. I want to enjoy what I got.
People love that.
So I went out and to China. Oh no, sorry, I didn't go to China. I went through, what was it, like Alibaba or something, and I said I found some cheap chargers, phone chargers,
Portable chargers.
them portable ones, them lipstick ones, and I bought hundreds of them. I had enough left. I had to just give them away at work. And apparently the Chinese weren't so conscious with their
Health and safety.
yeah. So a couple of them
caught fire.
no, they sparked.
Oh,
It's
snap.
not caught fire. They sparked, and maybe the thing next to it caught fire.
Bruv, they can cable they can straight cable in our air, boy.
Mad.
Burning you.
Man's wiping out everyone's furniture and
You know,
that.
I've been
Man trying to
married.
charge their phone, it's burning you.
I've been married nearly 3 years, you know, and
Blazing you.
there's people still now coming back to me from work and like, thanks, man, because the work people seem to love them. My friends and family that actually came to the wedding, none of them they were just telling me that they're burned. So what,
Nah,
man?
nah,
So
it
what,
was-
man? I tried my best.
your
I
gifts were
tried.
great,
I tried.
Damn.
You had great gifts.
Alright.
But anyways, so that's that. You can catch me at Stavros Boss everywhere. Travis,
Catch
what are your
me,
socials?
Travis JENT, Travis JAYENT. That's on all social medias.
Anything
Yeah,
you
man.
want to anyway? Pump
Yeah,
your podcast
set-
shows.
Yeah, follow
Your radio show.
Follow and subscribe to the podcast. Cool name for a podcast. Radio show, The Beat London, Saturdays mornings 10 to 1. And I'm doing a one-man show, my brand new special, September 27th at the Bill Murray. Go on my Twitter page or my Instagram bio. The ticket link is there. Tickets are only £5. So I don't want to hear anybody talk to me about, "Oh, can I just get a free ticket, bro?" It's £5. If you don't have £5 and you're a functioning adult, there's a problem with you.
What are you saying about discount, bruv?
Nah, G, see, again.
You can catch us collectively at ESN Podcast on Instagram and on Twitter. Search for Eloquently Saying Nothing on Facebook. Use the hashtag ESN Pod when you are discussing this or any of our other podcasts or any discussion basically that you want us to get involved in. Use the hashtag ESN Pod and we will find you. It's like the bat signal. We will be there. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, please. And I want to send a special shout out. I can't remember all your names actually, so one day I'm actually going to write them all down. But there are a few people that really, like, every SoundCloud they're there commenting, so you know who you are. There's only a few of you anyway, so you know who you are. I appreciate that. The people that retweet everything that we're doing. I really, really appreciate all the love and the effort that you put into supporting us. So I appreciate
My favourite tweet still is the one that they said that they think you're a horrible person. That's the one I like most.
Why? So that's 2 weeks in a row. You want to bring that up?
I want it to be known what you are as a person.
We should get them on.
I showed that to my wife and we laughed together.
Well,
Yeah,
she
that's what I like.
obviously makes bad decisions because she married a horrible person. No, why? You ready?
Are we done?
I'm done, man.
All right. So that brings to
I'll
the
say.
end episode 82
Yeah, go on. Of season 2.
of season 2.
Make sure you always say of season 2 because I don't want people to think we've already got 8.
You want your
We've
accolades.
got bare episodes before that.
Okay. All right.
With one mic.
Yeah,
All
back
I
in
need
the
is
day.
one
No
mic.
one else.
All I need is one mic. Yeah, all right, cool. All right, and thank you very much for listening. We are out.
And if you exactly.
If you ain't saying nothing, say it.
Slag for life.
Go shorty. It's your birthday.
My birthday tomorrow, people. My birthday.
It's almost your
tomorrow.
birthday.
Almost. You
Yeah.
made it out before.
Yeah.
No, I ain't looking at. Go take the go.
Go shorty.
Okay, yeah, we'll take this picture. We'll take listen to it.
Did you hear what Top said to him yesterday? About
Do not put this. Do not put this.
he said to him yesterday, yeah? There is a wolf. Are you a Christian? You're a Christian, yeah? He goes, yeah, you carry 2 Bibles. So he can step on it.
What do you think about short jokes? Are they good? You good about
Short
two
jokes.
Bibles? Yeah.
They have their place.
Good about 2 Bibles. Is there anything that sounds